Imagine a human army leader fighting the Demon King, and the moment he finishes him off, he dies with him and returns to life as a demon. I wonder if he'll be able to return to his human body again, and what awaits him in the demon world? Let's see what will happen with Liao. Our story begins in the Demon King's cave, and we see our hero Liao standing before the Demon King. On this day, our hero has been in the army for 18 years, and he leads the strongest human squad. He'll finish off the demon cave and return the land to humanity. He grabs his sword, attacks the demon, and says, "Today will be the last day of the conflict between humans and demons. And I'm the one who will end it, and humans will triumph." He hears the Demon King's voice saying to him, "Did you really believe that? Even in death, I won't leave you." A danger warning appears on the screen next to our hero. And here, the demon explodes in a terrible explosion. Our hero then falls to the ground, and the message comes that only 2 minutes remain until he dies. And the second message says to him, "Because you were the army leader who won many battles years ago and fought for humanity, you'll have a chance to be reborn." Do you agree to be reborn? Of course, it doesn't need a choice, guys. Our hero agreed immediately, of course. He closes his eyes and hears someone saying to him, "Wake up, stop sleeping. Their army is on the way." Our hero wakes up and says, "I've been reborn." Great! That lowlife Demon King thought he could finish me off. But I'm not that easy either. But as soon as he looks at himself and those around him, he's surprised and says, "What brought me here among these ugly demons?" The old demon Yan says, "The Blue Guild is close. We must leave here quickly." Our hero is surprised and says to him, "What do you mean? Are you even talking to me, old man?" Our hero looks in the mirror and is shocked that he's turned into a demon. He shouts and says, "You piece of junk system! Didn't you say it was a rebirth? I'm the savior of humanity and my beloved wife is waiting for me at home. What kind of madness have you done?" The demons around him are surprised by his words, and the system says it's sorry because a problem occurred in the rebirth. Our hero says to it, "A problem? Then fix it quickly." The system replies that it can't fix it. Our hero continues, "Where's your customer service? Is this the kind of trash service you provide to customers? I'm going to complain about you." The system tells him it will prepare a second rebirth for him, and it appears on the screen that if he dies again, he'll be reborn as a human. But he must die in a battle, not by his own hand. We see the demon team talking about how our hero officially went crazy when he woke up, and that if humans attack someone as stupid as him, they'll finish him off quickly. But our hero is thinking about his fiancée who will marry someone else after him. And here the demon sorceress Lamia says, "There are 12 people from the Blue Guild coming towards us, and only His Highness, who is B level, can face them. We must move towards the exit, because if they catch us, they'll give us hell." And here, our hero gets the idea that this is the chance he's been waiting for to do what the system said. So he goes towards the path the Blue Guild is coming from. Everyone is shocked, and Yan says to him, "Where are you going, you madman? That's the path the guild came from." Our hero replies, "Hiding is not a solution to the problem. If I can stop them, you'll be able to escape." They're all surprised because our hero will sacrifice himself for them, even though they know he's a coward and a fool. But suddenly, a cave-in occurs from a magic circle opening in the ceiling, blocking the path before our hero. Here, the Demon Lord's daughter, Liu, comes and says, "We grew up together, and in a difficult situation like this, no one should be left alone. We must all go together." Our hero gets angry because this girl is ruining his plan, and he yells at her while attacking the rocks blocking the path. Don't even think about it. What a busybody she is. He punches the rocks and feels a lot of pain. Liu is surprised by our hero's words, and Yan yells at him, "How dare you speak to Her Highness like that? Have you gone mad?" Our hero replies confidently, "Please, don't belittle a man who's about to sacrifice himself." Of course, Liu is surprised by our hero's manliness, as it's the first time she's noticed it. Our hero continues, "All this time I've just been hiding. What's there to fear from humans? And since I'm a brave demon, I hope you'll let me die with dignity." Naturally, they're all shocked, and Liu's eyes well up at this great performance. Yan tells her they should leave since our hero has decided to die. A bit later, we see our hero walking down the hall and reaching the humans. Happy because he'll die and be reborn, the human squad is shocked, wondering how a demon appeared beside them, and he says, "All right, you beauties, which one of you men is going to finish me off?" Then the whole squad attacks him at once, and our hero is happy because he'll finally be reborn among humans. But suddenly, arrows hit one of the squad members, and the squad leader says, "Watch out, it's an ambush." Of course, our hero is shocked and surprised to see Yan standing there with an arrow ready for them. He says, 3 years have passed since the great battles with the Demon King. After the Demon King died and the resistance ended, humans began invading our land, and because we kept conceding, we thought we were weak against them. And you, Liao, were right this time. And our hero stands there like an idiot, not understanding a thing. He sees the demon squad and Lu, who says, "Today the demons will resist." The human squad is shocked by what's happening before them, and our hero thinks they were emboldened because of him. We see Liu has leveled up and reached A rank. Liu continues saying we shouldn't give up on each other. Of course, the humans are shocked by the promotion because they know their highest demon is B rank, but now there's an A rank one. Liu raises her hands and summons the Earth Star attack, striking the humans. A huge explosion occurs, and they all stand there looking at the spot. Our hero thinks that the Blue Guild, which the humans belong to and is a great guild, was wiped out in a second. And instead of his plan working so he could be reborn, we see he's leveled up too, gained experience, and reached D rank. Now we go to the kingdom's capital, Yun, where we see two demon leaders, and one of them, named Kao, says, "What are you saying? Did the bridge plan fail?" The demon replies, "Yes, sir. We timed it so the princess's squad would be cornered by the Blue Guild, and at the moment they lost hope, Warrior John would enter with demon soldiers and save her, appearing as a hero, and she'd fall in love with him. But suddenly, they all got a morale boost and decided to finish off the Blue Guild. They're even saying the princess has leveled up." Kao says, "General, what are we gonna do?" General Huan, who is Jun's father, and also one of the three demon leaders, replies, "Military power is in my hands. And because of our status, the three of us will force her to marry my son in the council, and no one will dare to object. Inform my son tonight because tomorrow the army will come and ask for her hand. I told you before that this bridge plan was useless." We go to the princess, who's thinking about how brave our hero was in battle, and she decides to reward him. She tells the maid, Lumiere, to call for him. Lumiere laughs and says, "Yes, my lady. I'm going right now." As for our hero, he's sitting in a bar drinking and looking at the system screen, which tells him he hasn't selected a skill yet and has 120 unassigned points. So our hero shouts, "I don't want to assign them. If I assign them, dying will be harder." His basic attributes and level appear on the screen. He continues, "Rank D. Okay, so dying should be easy. But this area is so far from humans. So who's going to come and finish me off?" Just then, Lumiere arrives and tells him the princess wants to see him. Our hero approaches her and says, "You're just in time. Quick! You're the only one who can help me. You have to finish me off." Of course, she thinks he's drunk and talking nonsense or has gone crazy without her knowing. But the truth is, he was being serious with her, even though she's thinking about hitting him with a giant hammer. But she replies, "Not this time. Today, you must see the princess." Our hero is forced to go with Lumiere to the princess, who's waiting for him and says, "Liao, because you were brave, I'll give you the first-class medal of courage, and from now on, you can enter the palace as you please." Berry. I'll also give you the Slayer set so you can be a true hero. This set is the battle equipment of the previous Demon King. It's a collection of wearable items like armor, a bracelet, a necklace, a ring, and other things. But our hero doesn't understand a thing. He coldly takes the set and says, "If there's nothing else, I'm going back." The princess thinks he's become more aware and admires him even more. As he leaves her room, he encounters three demons. One of them is one of the big three named Ming, who's in charge of the law. Ming thinks to himself, why did she ask him to come at night just to give him the Demon King's armor? I mean, the only time he showed courage and didn't run away, it wasn't just once. A reward like this should be given in front of everyone. And this secret act doesn't show she has any royal qualities. I've served this kingdom faithfully all my life. And you, Liao, ignore me too. No reward at all. Now I'll have to side with General Huan tomorrow. Our hero says to him, "How's it going, old man?" "I'm giving you this set." Ming is shocked by what our hero says. Of course, our hero wants to die, so these things are useless to him. He continues, "The princess appreciates your efforts and ordered me to give this to you. You must take good care of it." Our hero then leaves him and walks away. Ming stands there surprised with the set in his hand and says, "I'm so sorry, my princess. Haiti Pontin, les desi MSA. How could I have thought such despicable things? I deserve to die. From now on, I'll be loyal to you for the rest of my life." We see our hero sitting on the stairs thinking he won't be able to die in this place, and that his only solution is to go tomorrow and find someone to finish him off. But he hears someone say, "Sir, you've arrived." The other person replies, "Yes, why?" "Father asked to see me urgently." Liao looks at them. It's Jun and the demon who was relaying news. The demon continues, "The general has decided to move tomorrow to lead the army with the big three demons and ask for the princess's hand for you in council. And if anyone tries to object, we'll finish them off immediately. When our hero hears this, he decides to stay until the next day. The next day in the meeting hall, we see the demons gathered with the princess, the three leaders, and Jun all beside her. Liao sits there bored by the dull meeting, wanting them to get to the point he heard about yesterday. Cao says, the princess mourned the demon king for 3 years, and now she's returned to the palace, and this matter deserves celebration. The human army is about 150 kilometers away and always ready. And because of the great general's protection in the city is always safe. The princess replies, the great general is truly a great person. Since my grandfather's time, he's led the army and protected the kingdom. He must receive a large reward. The general replies, since the princess wants to reward me, then I have only one request. John, come over here. I hope the princess will grant my son John a marriage proposal since you two grew up together. And the princess says as John approaches, wow, I haven't seen you in 3 years. Are you in love with someone, John? So John replies to her, I hope that you will marry me. The princess is very shocked when she hears his words and tells the general not to joke about such matters. So he replies to her, whether there is love or not is unimportant. Nothing is more important than duty. For 1,000 years it hasn't happened that a woman ruled the kingdom, and now rumors are spreading among the people and they've begun to lose trust in the kingdom. And as long as the princess is on the throne, many problems will occur. But if you marry John, then the people will be silent. The people present at the meeting begin to say that this opinion is logical and that Prince John is handsome, brave, and suitable, but Ming doesn't like this talk at all, and the princess is feeling hesitant. And here our hero knows that this is his chance. So he approaches them, takes the princess's hand, and says, don't let this idiot control you. Anyone has the right to seek their own happiness. You, boy, who gave you the audacity to speak this way in front of the leaders? Ming is shocked by our hero and what he is saying. And the princess says, I am sorry, general. But the general replies that he has served the kingdom with all sincerity, and he is one of the great demons. And this was for him a reward in front of all the demons. And he asked the princess to think before she answers. Here, Yan points his arrow at the general and tells him to back off and stop pressuring the princess. And Ming also tells him to watch his behavior, so the general replies, the military authority is in my hands. Who would dare to confront me? The princess says, everyone wait, what the general said is right. I agree now. So our hero laughs and says, you really are a stupid one. You gave up so easily, you fool. You didn't inherit any of your father's royal dignity. What is it that scares you about this man? So the general approaches him and says, what? Who are you, boy? And here our hero spits on the general and says to him, you are a servant? Did you forget who gave you this military authority? And now you've become full of yourself, thinking you're strong with power and can oppress people, huh? Besides, this princess is great and her status is high among the people. A beautiful princess. What is your son's value compared to her? So the general replies that our hero's words are meaningless and that no one is suitable for her but his son. Our hero says, I won't hide it from you. To be honest, we agreed 2 days ago when we were in the cave that the princess and I would marry. Of course, our hero is waiting for the general to finish him off after those provocative words. Yan is shocked at how our hero is mocking the general, and people are talking about how they heard Liao was the one who saved the princess when she was surrounded by the Blue Guild. The general approaches our hero and says, do you want to die, boy, for insulting the general publicly? And now you're insulting the princess. You are despicable and deserve to die, and I will finish you off, you animal. And here we see the general activating the energy in his hand, and people start to flee because his attack is destructive. He strikes our hero in the stomach, who thinks that he's finally going back to his beloved Helena. A huge explosion occurs afterward, and they all stand watching to see what happened to him. But to their surprise, our hero emerges without even being wounded. So John gets angry because our hero was supposed to die. And it appears on the screen that our hero won the title of Military Demon Commander, and his level became A, and he has a passive defensive skill. And we see everyone at that moment is shocked. And one of those present says, the princess made him the military demon commander. This is only used once in the lifetime of the great demon. The princess says, my grandfather and father gave you the position of military commander long ago. And since that day, you've been the commander-in-chief of the army. But now, I'm granting the position of military commander to Liao. And starting today, Liao will be the right general, and he'll cooperate with the left general Huan to lead the demon army. Juan thinks she believes she can use this young boy to challenge his military authority, and he wants to see who will bow before him. So Ming greets our hero, Ji, and the old man Yan also greets him. And here we see all the other demons bowing before him, even Cao. And of course, our hero thinks he's been a fool because what he wanted didn't happen. Here, Juan says that becoming a military leader of the demons proves the princess's trust in you. But how can someone who hasn't been an army leader before, or even fought in battles, be convincing to the senior and battle-hardened demons? If you want me to share my military authority, he must enter the test of the ancestors' demon cave. The great ancestor Lulion is the only king of our tribe, and whoever the great ancestor recognizes, Bechtel will then deserve the power of the king. And if he can pass the ancestor's demon cave, I will present him with the military symbols myself. Yan says to him, "Oh, you cunning fox. No one has come out of that place for 100 years. What are you planning?" Ming says, "General Liao has proven his worth now, and we obey the orders of the great demon. Do you want to disobey orders?" The princess replies, "This is not right. This cave has been a forbidden area for a long time. Whoever goes there dies. And this won't prove anything." Of course, as soon as our hero heard that it involves death, the idea entered his head. Huan laughs and says, "I take it you're all cowards then?" Our hero replies quickly, "The great general is right. I agree. So where is this demon cave then? Show it to me. I want to go now." They are all shocked by his words. And we learn that 200 years ago, the demon tribe faced a great crisis, and the great ancestor Lulion sacrificed himself to protect the tribe and sealed his demonic power in the demon cave, waiting for the arrival of the king he would recognize. But unfortunately, no one has been able to pass this test since that day. Ming says, to enter the cave, there must be at least 2 people. And considering General Liao is the first one, who else will dare to go in with him? Of course, everyone is terrified of this. One says he must find a way on his own. If he can't find a partner to enter the cave with him, then how will he lead the entire army? And here, Jun raises his hand and says, "I'll go in with him." Huan gets angry at him and says, "What are you saying? Who allowed you to make this decision on your own?" Jun replies, "And do you, father, see me as less than him? Whoever the great ancestor recognizes deserves the power of the king. And if a king is to appear in the kingdom, it must be me." People see that Jun is truly brave. And he's the only one who can enter the cave. But Huan is not satisfied and fears for his son's life. A little later, we see Cao talking to Jun, saying, "That decision was correct. Who is this boy Liao but a lucky one who lacks true power? Unlike the prince, who has been a star since he was young, we can't let someone like him grow. While you're on this mission inside the demon cave, you can find the right opportunity and finish him off." Jun tells him he knows what he'll do, and we go to another place. Our hero is with Lemire and Yan. Lemire tells him that Prince Jun is very selfish and won't allow a young man better than him to exist. That's why he might finish him off from behind. Our hero is happy because his chance of dying is increasing more and more. But Ming enters, calling out to our hero, saying he brought him magical and healing potions because the demon cave is very dangerous and he must stay safe. Of course, our hero doesn't want them at all and just wants to die. Now we go to the demon cave, where we see our hero John and Lemire standing in the courtyard, and our hero gives the bag of potions to John. Lemire asks them if they are ready. The princess then says goodbye to our hero and tells him to take care of himself. Lemire activates the magic circles and teleports our hero and John to the demon cave. After entering the cave, we see they've reached the ghost bat floor, whose specialty is knowing how to disappear. We see our hero and John walking through the cave. John says, "I don't know what kind of monsters are waiting for us in this cave." Our hero remembers Lemire's words about John stabbing him in the back. So he stands in front of him and says, "Wow, I have no defense at all. I'm only wearing my clothes, and my defense is very weak." John is surprised by his words and how he exposes himself so easily when they barely know what monsters are around them. But our hero thinks John must finish him off now. Indeed, John pulls a sword from his arm and says, "The flower," as a small flower passes by our hero. John runs past him at incredible speed toward a large bat standing ahead, then jumps and finishes it off. Our hero doesn't understand what's happening around him. Suddenly, all the bats in the cave attack them, and there are a great many of them. John takes out the flower again and throws it into the air around the bats, and snaps his fingers, causing lines to emerge and connect, slicing through all the bats and finishing them off. John says, "You knew there were ghost bats, didn't you? That's why you made a plan to expose yourself so they'd appear. And then you left it to me, the strongest demon, to finish them off in one blow. But don't think for a second that this move will make me follow you." Our hero looks at him, dying of rage, and says, "Oh, bravo to you. You're using your brain in a magnificent way. Honestly, you're very clever." John finishes off the rest of the bats with the flower and sword, while our hero stands there frustrated, thinking that when he exposed himself, he wanted John to finish him off. But the idiot misunderstood and thought they were working together, and all the monsters are attacking him because he's the only one finishing them off. In this case, neither John will finish off our hero, nor will the monsters do that to him. so he decides to draw the monsters toward him so they can finish him off. He looks at the system screen. He has 480 attribute points, but they haven't been distributed yet. John continues on his way, saying that this is the last part of the map. He's wondering why our hero hasn't done anything yet, thinking he might lack power and is still looking for experience. But suddenly, the ground shakes beneath them and a danger notification appears for our hero, activating a level challenge, the Battle of the Demon King's Guardians. The challenge level is A and the duration is 20 minutes. Their mission is to withstand the attack of the Demon King's Guardians. And these Guardians have no weaknesses. At that moment, the gods appear directly in front of him. John throws the flowers at them, but one of the gods has fire powers and sets the entire flower ablaze. John is shocked by what happened, and the guard prepares himself to strike. And indeed, he hurls a fire stone toward John, so the stone hits John. After the fire subsides, we see him standing unaffected, but he's shocked when he sees arms emerging from the fire, wrapping around him until he's unable to move. He looks at our hero and says to himself that when he saw he was in trouble, he couldn't intervene, right? Is it possible that he's really weak and has no power? I thought he was much better than that. Of course, our hero is still focused on the screen, distributing his attribute points, and we see that he put them all into attack. As a result, his defense has become very weak. He did this on purpose to cause damage and lure them in so they could finish him off. At this moment, John is angry and says, "I'll make them feel my strongest attack." With all his strength, he pulls on the arms wrapped around him and breaks them. A lot of spikes come out of him. They all go towards the monster and land around it. Jun says, while cracking his knuckles, "Explosion!" All those spikes explode. But the monster has a very high endurance. Jun is shocked because he couldn't even destroy the monster's armor. At that moment, one of the monsters casts a magic circle on Jun, controlling him and lifting him into the air. All the monsters surround him, and we see our hero sneaking up behind them without anyone noticing. He approaches the fire monster and punches it in the back, creating a large hole in its body, and the god dies. The other monsters are surprised at how easily their comrade died and leave Jun to attack our hero. So Jun falls to the ground and looks in amazement at our hero, who managed to finish off one of the gods. But of course, his stupidity is the reason, because he put all his attribute points into attack power, and that's what allowed his strength to actually finish off a monster. Jun is also surprised at how he finished off the monster with a single blow, but he realizes that these monsters' weaknesses are in their backs. And that's why our hero didn't attack from the start. He says to himself, this guy predicts everything from the start, as if he's hiding his power so the Demon King's gods attack me, and then he can reveal their weaknesses. Well done. Of course, because our hero finished off one of the gods, this made all the monsters angry, and they considered him their primary target. They all stand around him, so our hero smiles and says to himself, finally, it seems my plan succeeded. Now they'll all attack me. Their attack level is very high, and my defense is non-existent. They'll surely finish me off with one hit. He gestures to the monster and tells it to come at him. So the monster attacks him, and our hero is living his dream of returning to his human form. But Jun doesn't let him. He ruins the dream by hitting the monster's back with a flower and activating it, cutting the monster into pieces. Our hero is shocked to see the monster turned into mincemeat and says to Jun, going crazy, "Is this your strategy? Their weaknesses are in their backs. I provoke them and you attack, and you provoke and I attack. Understand?" And here, the monsters turn towards Jun. Our hero is dying of rage because his plan was going perfectly, until Jun came and ruined it for him. Jun starts running and the monsters chase after him. Our hero keeps calling them to come back, and he attacks another monster, also making a hole in it and finishing it off. Now the last two monsters look at him, and the target shifts back to him. Our hero tells them to come finish him off and give him some peace. So he stands proudly waiting to die. But Jun doesn't let that happen either. He attacks the monster from behind and hits it hard, shifting the target back to Jun, who runs away from them. And our hero is shouting and stomping on the ground so they don't leave. So he hits the second monster, finishes it off, and becomes the target again. But there's only one monster left, and this is his last chance. So he stands in front of it so the monster can hit him and give him peace. And indeed, the monster prepares its attack and descends upon our hero. But at the last second, Jun cuts the monster into 100 pieces. Jun stands before our hero and says, "No one can stand against this combat strategy." Seriously, well done, our hero says to himself, almost losing his mind. What have we done? We managed to finish them all off. John tells him, "I want to confess to you. You deserve to compete with me in the future." Suddenly, the ground shakes beneath them and cracks, and they hear a loud voice laughing, saying, "Ha ha ha! No one has dared to enter this cave for many years." I thought the young demons didn't have the guts to challenge the king's status. And a terrifying energy emerges from underground. A giant dragon appears and continues. Well done, you two. You finished the test and now it's time for the final challenge. Only one person leaves here. You have 10 minutes. We learn that this dragon is the Demon King, level 55. The dragon continues. The survivor wins the title of king and the Demon Lord's prize, or you both die. John says, what does he mean? He wants us to fight each other. He continues to himself. I am the kingdom's future. I cannot die, but the person in front of me is incredibly powerful. Of course, our hero is happy because this time a golden opportunity has fallen right into his lap. He takes off his jacket while John prepares himself, seeing how confident our hero is and how much he wants to win. He decides he must not lose to him, so our hero takes off his shirt too, which is armor, and says, since only one person can leave, then you must attack me. Wait, what? John thinks our hero is trying to lure and provoke him into attacking, and surely has a serious trap planned for him. But our hero keeps undressing and says, don't worry, I have no magic bag, and I'm wearing nothing but these shorts. All you have to do is hit me with all your might, and you'll win the title and the prize. You'll be the new, only, and unique king in this whole world. John replies, what exactly is your plan? I mean, you're so close to success. Why are you giving it up? Our hero gets annoyed because John is wasting his time, and John continues. I mean, the princess trusts you. You took military command, reached this stage, have decent offensive power, and can take out a demon lord's guard with a normal blow. But if you face me in a battle like this, I'm sure I can defeat you easily. So why are you surrendering? Our hero tells him, the kingdom cannot survive without your family, John. And Commander Juan served the kingdom faithfully. And you're a hero, a great hero who will be the kingdom's future. But what am I? I'm just a somewhat lucky soldier. And my value is nothing compared to your life. And for the demon kingdom, I must die. Kill me. John is shocked by his words and remembers his mother when he was young. When she told him that one day he'd grow up to be a young man and carry the kingdom's burden in his heart, and that demons wouldn't be strong unless they were united, John says to himself, Mother, I feel insulted. While this person is thinking of the kingdom and its future, sacrificing his life for it, I was thinking about his plans and the title of king while he's thinking about the fate of all demons. The dragon says, 8 minutes left, then the punishment begins. If you don't move, I'll finish you off. Our hero shouts, what are you waiting for, man? Just come over here and finish me off. John replies, this demon king said earlier that if we don't finish each other in 10 minutes, he'll finish us. And I'm honestly thinking of trying something else. We see John activating magic, a terrifying energy coming from his body spreading flowers. The Demon King watches as the flowers reach the barrier above them and John detonates them, causing a massive explosion, and the dragon screams, you dare to break through the barrier! Here we see that John has evolved and he says, what do you think about us uniting to fight this demon? The dragon laughs. A bunch of fools, I'll show you. Jun starts to feel his power increasing, while our hero stands aside watching them, saying, there he goes, pulling out his sword again. He's going to give us a headache. Why does he always make simple things so complicated? Jun attacks the dragon and throws flowers at it, but the dragon breathes fire on him, only to be surprised by Jun next to its head, striking it with a sword. However, the dragon's health is massive and Jun's strike has no effect. Jun moves quickly and attacks the dragon again, throwing flowers that start hitting the dragon. Then Jun lands on the ground. Now the dragon considers him the primary target and moves quickly, making a huge commotion. Jun looks behind him and is shocked by the dragon's tail, which hits him and sends him flying near our hero, who thinks that if Jun dies, he'll become the king. The dragon gathers energy to blast it from its mouth, aiming it at Jun. But our hero, Liao, stands in front of him and blocks the strike with his body, losing a lot of health. Jun keeps looking at Liao in surprise, saying to himself, this is the second time he's saved me from a fatal blow. Jun takes out an instant healing potion and throws it at his stomach, and it hits his body. It starts healing Liao, and in a second his health is fully restored. Our hero goes crazy and pulls his hair because every time his plan is about to succeed, Jun ruins it for him. Jun then throws 3 potions at once, all of them buff and defense potions, hitting our hero Liao and boosting his stats. Jun says, let's continue the battle. Of course, Liao is fuming with rage because instead of getting closer to death, he's now stronger and at full health. We see Jun's energy increasing as he leaps with incredible speed at the dragon until he reaches its head and strikes with flowers. But the dragon hits him and throws him to the ground. So Liao runs toward him and immediately stands in front of the dragon to protect Jun, and the dragon aims its strike at our hero Liao again. Liao starts losing health from the dragon's strike, But suddenly Jun hits him with another healing potion. Our hero goes crazy because of him. The battle continues until the dragon's health drops below half. Jun stands next to Liao and says, if we keep going like this, we'll be able to finish off the Demon King. But it appears on the screen that the king has activated a passive skill, which is a level 555 skill. This gives him 100,000 points of healing, restoring his health to what it was at the beginning. Within a minute, Jun is shocked by this extraordinary skill. He knows that if he keeps attacking, he won't be able to keep up with its healing speed. The dragon laughs and says, how dare you weaklings think you can finish off the Demon King? It roars loudly, making them lose health from the power of the roar. The dragon continues, against absolute power. Bravery does nothing. The dragon's last attack caused a poisoned state, making them lose a lot of health. Even the buffs wear off and they both fall to the ground. Jun tries to use full healing but can't because it's only allowed once a day. He tells our hero Liao that all the potions are gone. The dragon is then preparing a new blast from its mouth. Jun says, we've lost. Our hero replies with a smile. No, we haven't lost yet. There are 10 minutes left. If one person survives, then the other can complete the challenge. You can still win the title of king. Jun asks him what he means, but our hero grabs him by the shoulder and throws him away, saying, you must stay alive for the future of the demons. True, you're one of the demons, but you're a good person. Jun is screaming just before the dragon's attack reaches our hero. At that moment, the dragon's flame arrives, and our hero disappears behind it. A moment later, a light from above shines on Jun, who looks at it in shock. The dragon laughs and says, congratulations! Finally, someone has managed to complete the ancestors' trial. Long ago, the ancestors sacrificed their lives to protect the demon folk. Naturally, the most vital skills were in the cave, awaiting a worthy warrior. The screen displays his rewards, and among them is the dragon's flame. The dragon continues, yet for 200 years, every demon who passed the trial killed each other at the end to win the title. Even if one survived, they wouldn't be fit to be a king. But you two supported each other and chose to face me together. The feeling and faith in protecting the demon folk without fear of death is a great thing. And kingship is ultimately a quality more than just a value a king needs. We see our hero standing next to Jun. A message also appears to him with the things he won. But our hero wins the 100,000 point healing. Our hero looks at the screen, unable to process what's happening. News reaches the princess and the leaders that Jun and our hero finished the ancestors' cave trial in a short time. Kao says, this means the ancient prophecy has been fulfilled. The prophecy that said, in this generation, the demon king who will unite them all will appear. Princess Liu says, the last one to hold this title was from our family, Demon King Liu Lion. And from among all the demons in the world, only one true king is born, but only at very distant intervals, and a royal aura will appear around him, unlike other demons. And after he goes through all the troubles in the world, he will ultimately be a figure all demons revere. Leader Huan says, it's no surprise my son is exceptional and would become king. It's only natural for him. I really underestimated that boy. The demon who brought the news replies, I'm sorry, but it's not Master Jun who became king. It is actually General Liao. They are all shocked as soon as they hear this news. At the same time, we see our hero sitting in a bar drinking away. A bit later, we see him leaving, thinking about the skill he won from the battle with the Demon King, which is the 100,000 point health bar. He says, this health bar has really messed me up. I won't be able to die like this, and I can't become human again. I miss you, Helena. Our hero continues into a market and feels someone watching him from behind a wall. But when he looks, he finds no one there. It's a little boy who is standing behind the wall. When the boy looks again to see our hero, he's startled to find him staring and shouting at him. Are you spying on me? The boy is terrified, falls to the ground and says while crying, you didn't scare me. I'm not afraid of you. Of course, this boy, everyone, is the demon Xiao. Our hero asks him why he's following him, so Xiao tells him, I wanted to ask a favor, that you come with me to the Billing Demon Cave. And I'm ready to be your servant. Xiao gives him a paper saying he's won 3 wishes. He must bring this message to the cave to be able to claim the 3 wishes. So our hero asks, what's the story with this cave? A man from the street is standing next to him, looking at the message. Xiao continues, when I got this message, I went to the cave right away. But they told me if I couldn't fully transform and become big, they wouldn't let me in. And by chance, I saw you coming out of another cave. So you must have a way to help me get inside. The man standing next to them says they're scammers. It's obvious from the message. Our hero says to Xiao, do you think you can achieve everything? I've heard before that there's a wishing fountain that grants wishes, but I didn't expect it to be real. Shao replies, I paid 50,000 for the membership and did many tests, and now I have a chance. The man next to them keeps warning them it's a scam, and he thinks it's so easy to steal from kids. Shao says, this is my last chance. I paid all the money I earned from work to get this paper. My mom has a heart condition and only 1 month left, so I must find a suitable demon heart for her quickly. The man says the boy's situation is tough, but no fool would go with him. Here our hero says, I'll go with you, but first you'll give me one of these 3 wishes. The boy agrees to give him 2 wishes instead of 1. And of course, all our hero wants is to become human again. The 2 of them walk away, leaving the man standing there saying to himself, so they only let you in if you're big. Isn't this that scam gang that's been operating for a while? After a while, we see our hero and Shao reach the cave door, and our hero holds the paper up to the scanner, the door opens, and they both enter. At the same time, someone is watching them on camera and says, we have a new catch. Lock the door tight and get the net ready. Don't forget, we don't want to be too hard on them because if they die, we gain nothing and we need them for labor. After they enter the cave, the door closes behind them. They both look at the door, and there's a demon standing behind them who attacks and hits our hero. Of course, our hero is unfazed because his health is 100,000 and he says, how's it going? So this is Billing Cave. The demon who hit him thinks our hero is faking it because he stayed so calm after taking such a powerful blow. There are 3 more demons around him as well. Our hero continues. We came to get our wishes. Did we come to the wrong place or something? The demon laughs and says, are you dreaming? Greedy fools like you are the ones we trick the most. Use your head. Where in this world is there something that grants wishes? Shao replies, cut the nonsense. Where is the demonic wishing fountain? Bring it to me now. The 4 demons laugh and tell him that story is for little kids and they can't believe he fell for it. Their leader arrives and says they're the largest organ trafficking organization in the kingdom, and they trick fools like them into coming to the cave. And if he behaves, he could work for them as a slave for life. And if he doesn't, they'll cut him into pieces and sell them off. Because if lower class people like them disappeared, no one would even notice. And that his body is weak but could be useful for military equipment. He pats his face and tells him to be an obedient dog and accept his fate. And here our hero punches the leader, sending him flying while the other demons stand there in shock. Our hero says this has happened a lot since I came back to life, and it always ends the same way for me. The demon who attacked him first says, this kid dared to fight back, everyone suit up. Armor appears around them, they put it on, and it's high-grade gear. The demon says the kid won't know how dangerous the world is until he sees our power. Let's test this new armor on him. Finish him off. The demons attack our hero, who says, I'm always close to success, but now I have to deal with this situation. I'm so depressed and angry. I'll show you dogs. Our hero throws a punch and the impact is massive due to its sheer power. We see the demons on the ground, their armor completely shattered. Our hero is crying in a fit of rage, stepping on the head of the demon who attacked him. The other demons apologize and beg him to let them go, claiming they were forced into it. They were also deceived, just as he was. The power behind this organization is immense, and they can't escape it. Of course, our hero was drunk this whole time. At that moment, he snaps out of it and says, immense power? The demon under his foot replies, I'm afraid to tell you who's behind us. You'd die of fright. We're backed by someone in a very high position in the kingdom. When the general arrives, you won't stand a chance of staying alive. Our hero suspects the organization's leader is one of the kingdom's 3 generals. Just then, the door swings open and the demon laughs, saying, the general is here! Prepare to die! Our hero looks at the door as a general enters and asks, are you the one causing all this noise? Our hero is shocked to see him and says, so this whole scam belongs to Old Man Cow. A demon with the general shouts, how do you know who's behind us and how dare you insult him like that? The general cracks his knuckles and says, surely these failures are the ones who leaked it. We learned that this general is Kao's brother, named Bang. The demons try to apologize, claiming they said nothing and begging for forgiveness, but in an instant, their heads are crushed. Bang says, useless trash demons, you can't even defeat a complete nobody. And you know far too much, you must die right here. Liao replies, you're big and you look strong. Let's see if you can actually finish me off. I'll give you 10 minutes. If you can't finish me by then, don't blame me if I get rough. Everyone is shocked by our hero's words, and Bang asks him, what do you mean, give me 10 minutes? I'll finish you off in a single second. The general punches our hero, sending him flying backward. But our hero heals instantly. He says, you're clearly stronger than the rest. But come on, give me your best shot, sweetheart. The general wonders how an unknown person could possess such power. Our hero continues, come on, honey, those 10 minutes are ticking away. Bang replies, activating the power in his hand. How dare you underestimate me like this? Bang attacks our hero rapidly, knocking him down and raining blows upon him from above. The demon with Bang looks at our hero and says, I remember him now. We see Bang is exhausted after all that punching. Our hero's health is unchanged. It hasn't dropped at all. He says, are you stopping? Come on, keep going. Bang gets furious, leaps into the air, and delivers a massive blow to our hero. Then our hero's passive skill activates. After 15 hits, the attacker suffers recoil. Bang's health drops significantly. He jumps back and asks, what's with this kid? The demon tells him, oh, I know who he is, boss. This is the kid who challenged Great General Han back at the palace. But I heard he went to the ancestral cave. How is he still alive? And why is he even here? Bang replies to him, so that's his story. I've heard of you, the pretty-faced one that Lady Liu stood up for. You think you can fool me? A worthless dog demon who got a high rank just because of women. I'm not like you, old man. I'm an A-rank demon. I have 2 demon hearts and I'll be the future leader of the demon clan. At that moment, Bang activates the ice shield and calls out to our hero saying, come on, baby, come on. Bang raises his hand in the air, gathering energy, then brings it down on our hero and starts hitting him. The passive skill activates over and over again. And Bang starts losing his health. Finally, a notification appears for Bang activating near-death protection. So his companion demon starts crying. Bang sits on the ground and says, what does this mean? What's happening? I don't understand. Then our hero stands up and tells him the 10 minutes are up. Bang replies, how is your health still the same? Our hero asks him if that's all he's got. Bang answers, terrified, yes, that's all I have, and I gave it all to you. I'm sorry for letting you down. Please, brother, don't hurt me. I want peace. I'll give you anything you ask for. Our hero threatens to punch him and says, I want you to finish me off. Bang is shocked and says, please, no joking. Who exactly are you? At that moment, Kao enters through the door and says, General Aemon. The companion demon says, sir, save the general, he's your brother. Kao continues, he brought this on himself, his life or death. That's in General Liao's hands, and I have nothing to do with it, General Liao. This place was a weapons factory chosen by the former demon emperor himself, but my mismanagement is what caused this problem. Please forgive me, General, and I'll fix this matter quickly. Liao replies to him, do whatever you want, and this fat guy's life isn't important to me. But you're a very weak group talking about powerful weapons and turning out to be a disappointment. Wait a minute, I remembered something. You, fat guy, said before that you could give me anything I ask for, right? And you also said you have 2 demon hearts, didn't you? Bang is terrified of him and tries to change the subject. A little later, we see them at the hospital with Bang in surgery. The doctor tells him not to worry because he has 2 hearts, meaning if he loses one of them, nothing will happen to him. Our hero is standing outside with little Xiao, who says, brother, if it weren't for you, my mom wouldn't have survived. Thank you. Our hero tells him it's a small thing, and it's good he could grant his wish, wondering when his own wish will come true. Kao is with his brother's companion demon, asking if they saw the energy storage unit. The demon replies, don't worry, everything is safe. Kao continues, we must protect this energy weapon even if we die. We can't allow anyone to know about it. The human army will be here soon. We see the humans preparing themselves for war, and Holina is talking to our hero who's sleeping in her lap, saying you should have been the leader in this battle, but now only your body is here with me. I miss you. I wonder if you're okay wherever you are. But it won't be long before we meet again very soon. In the demon world, we see a group attacking our hero with swords, but without affecting him, so he gets angry and says, what's wrong with you idiots? Can't you cut off my head? You're all failures. No one can ever finish me off. At that moment, our hero wakes up and everything he saw was just a dream. But then Lumia enters and says, General Liao, Her Highness has requested an emergency military meeting, and I ask you to come to the hall quickly. Our hero is surprised by this military meeting thing. Then we go to the hall now where Leho says, according to reports, there have been changes in the human army's leadership, and it seems they're planning to attack us early. And this time, the humans sent an army of more than 10,000. Then that's why I've gathered all the kingdom's generals to decide how we'll respond. Huan tells her that the last battle of this scale was 10 years ago, and we needed to gather all our forces against the human attack. And in the end, the Emperor and I managed to launch surprise attacks, eliminate the enemy leaders, and protect the kingdom. But back then, the humans only sent 5,000 soldiers. But today, the army has doubled, and our military forces haven't improved much. That's why we have no choice but to defend and wait for an opportunity to attack. John, take a squad with you, go to the Alliance, and ask for help. John immediately agrees with him, and Leo asks our hero for his opinion. Our hero thinks 10,000 soldiers is a good number, and he starts calculating that if each one caused him damage at a certain time, it means they could finish him off. And he says, great opportunity that we must fight and we must leave the city and face them with all our strength. One gets angry and tells him, like, we are now facing a life or death moment for the kingdom. How can you speak in such a reckless manner? Our hero replies, 10 years ago, the humans attacked with 5,000 soldiers and you defended, barely managing to save yourselves. This time they're coming with 10,000 soldiers and you want to defend and ask for help, surrendering your life to whoever comes to assist you. Then in 10 years, the humans will come and there'll be 20,000 then. To whom will you surrender your life? Can't you face your destiny alone? And besides, who said the military strength hasn't evolved? Have you forgotten who I am? I am the biggest change in our military strength. The generals start talking about how our hero's words are correct because he's the king recognized by the ancestors, and that the demonic prophecy says the demon king will unite all demons and lead them to the light. One interrupts them and says, you want to sacrifice our soldiers and let them die. You've never been in battles, so how could you know the cruelty of war? Liao replies, do you think victory comes by luck alone? Do you think the enemy will let us carry out a surprise attack again? Do you think just talking about despair will make us win? You're just a warrior of many years who didn't know what the most important thing in battle is. The most important thing is the determination to win. And that's why I'm declaring now with a military pledge that if we lose this battle, you should execute me then, cut off my head and make me an example for everyone. They all look at him in amazement. And John says to himself, you always have the enthusiasm that gives us hope. Leo stands up and says, fine, this battle will be led by General Liao, and he will be the supreme commander. Everyone must listen to and obey his orders. We will open the city gates and face the enemy. The next day, in one of the camps, we see General Huan gathering the other generals around him and saying to them, I've been in many battles in my life, and this time, the human army isn't just large in number, but every soldier is much stronger than before. We won't be able to win this battle, and you've been with me for many years, and no, I won't let you sacrifice your lives this way. So all generals will follow my orders in this battle. Do not leave the city, and no one respond to General Liao. And if the princess blames us, I will take full responsibility. After a few days, the human army reaches the kingdom's borders, and it's the 21st division from the kingdom of Shanghua. We then see the general leading the division observing the demon kingdom and saying, the day you die has come. Come on, men, start the attack on the city, and don't forget that General Shin ordered us not to leave a single demon's head in its place. The humans fire missiles at the city wall, and you see the demons riding their dragons ready to fight. They start using magic to destroy these missiles, but one missile gets through, hits the wall, and destroys it. Our hero looks at the explosion and says, the time has finally come. We see the human machines entering through the wall looking like spiders. Juan whispers to the generals next to him, telling them not to forget what he said. They ask each other what they should do, because if they listen to Juan, it would be an act of military disobedience. Our hero looks at them and says, everyone listen to the orders and carry them out. Now everyone enter the city and no one is allowed to leave. The king will handle this battle alone. They are all shocked after hearing the orders, and our hero jumps down, landing on the ground in front of the humans. He starts approaching them until he's right in front of them, with their weapons aimed at him. The leader named Jia looks at him and says to himself, what's the deal with this demon? He came alone, yet there are still many demons up there, but no one is moving. Could it be a trap? On the wall, the generals are talking, wondering if they misheard our hero's orders not to move while he handles all the humans. As for General Huan, he thinks our hero is insane. What is he planning? Asking the demons not to intervene at all. The human army has 10,000 soldiers, so he can't stand against them alone. But our hero starts taking off his clothes and says, I heard the human army is strong, but I don't see anyone brave enough to come and attack me. Are you scared? No one dared but me, he says as he steps forward. He continues to himself, Jia, you used to be one of my men. I didn't expect you to lead the humans in the attack on the city, but I don't want you to disappoint me. I remember you well. You don't accept insults and always strike back. Here our hero starts mocking them, so Jia gets angry and says, this lowlife is mocking us. Attack him, men! The soldiers with swords attack our hero, while those behind them with machine guns fire bullets. Our hero is very happy because he wants them all to attack at once, as the damage to him will be greater. Even Jia attacks with his sword, hitting our hero, while the other soldiers keep striking him from all sides. But his health recovers quickly again, and our hero realizes he must be hit with about 1,700 points per second to take any damage. Our hero gets angry and shouts at the soldiers to use all their strength, but the soldiers are shocked by his rapid healing speed. Jia screams, have the third squad advance with us to attack! The armored vehicle moves, aiming weapons at our hero, including a magical device that fires energy, So our hero is finally happy as he's being hit and says, "That's it, keep going." One watches the battle, shocked by our hero's rapid healing ability, and wonders if our hero really intends to face the human army alone. Our hero is very happy because the soldiers' attacks are starting to work, and he sees his health starting to drop, making him even happier. But suddenly a notification appears saying a passive ability was triggered and energy bursts from his body, hitting the soldier in front of him and sending him flying. They all look at the shattered soldier as he says his last words, that this demon is not normal and the damage was devastating. Then the soldier dies, leaving them all in shock. Jia thinks this demon has a major issue that he doesn't understand. He shouts to his men to stop the attack. He remembers General Shin telling him that this kingdom has a triple S-rank demon king who had a healing ability that was like a glitch in the system. And back then, that king alone was able to defeat human kingdoms and control 3 demon caves. And he restored the demon's power to face the humans. But he remembers that this king died a long time ago. And here our hero says his health is returning quickly. "Why did you stop? You're 10,000 soldiers and you can't finish me off." Of course, the soldiers are shocked. "How are our hero's wounds healing this fast?" Jia says while speaking into the device. "The demon in front of us is very dangerous. Everyone calm down and no one attack. Our mission is to bring the strongest demon army. And now our mission is accomplished. Let's head back now to minimize our losses." Indeed, the army turns and starts retreating while our hero stands there very surprised and going crazy. Lemire and Yan are standing on the wall. And Lemire says, "Are they retreating? All royal guards follow me. Don't let these humans escape." Yuaini, she mounts the dragon and flies off with all the guards flying behind her. Jun is standing next to them and tells one of the guards, "Execute a full army attack." Our hero looks back and is shocked to see the dragons coming towards him. Jia is also shocked and screams, "What happened? Why did they all attack suddenly? I used my ability and I can't use it again." General Huan is looking at him, feeling that he has grown old, and the youth these days have the courage and wisdom and deserve the king's position. And he says, "Men, everyone join now and follow General Liao's orders. This time we must make sure these insects don't return." All the demons with him agree. But someone from the kingdom comes and says, "General, the situation is very bad. The human army was deceiving us because on the other side there's another very strong army that entered the kingdom through the west gate, and the deputy commander and his squad are all dead. And the kingdom's residents are now facing a massive massacre, and the main army is heading towards the palace to attack the demon queen." At the palace, we see the human army has arrived and Liu is standing there fighting them. The human leader says, "Useless demons." Liu says, "This human is very strong." Mingu replies to her saying, we must find a way to retreat. The human leader continues telling them, "Your defense forces are completely destroyed and we've entered now." But suddenly a fireball hits near them and injures one of his men, so they try to treat him. The owner of this fireball is General Huan, who stands before them, so the human leader says to him, "Finally, a demon appeared who will give us some trouble. All right, let's start practicing with him." The leader's aura appears around him, and the general realizes his power is much higher than the other humans, and that he must finish the battle quickly. He activates his energy and transforms into an A-rank dark dragon. As for the South Gate, the battle between demons and humans is ongoing, and our hero stands before the door and says as he enters the kingdom, "So you're playing with me. Since I've been in this body, it's like I'm cheating. Any way I try to die results in failure. What exactly do you want from me? You want me to be the demon king just to be satisfied?" Our hero is crying and laughing at the same time. Then suddenly a lightning bolt appears from the sky and strikes the ground in front of him. He looks at the lightning strike spot, finds demon corpses, and continues. "Aren't the humans fighting outside the city? When did the demons enter here?" He hears a demon's voice telling the humans holding him, "Please let my daughter go and I'll give you anything." The human stepping on his head replies, "Even if I don't let her go, you'll give me everything anyway." His comrade is carrying the girl and her father is reaching out and screaming for them to let her go. But the human above him stabs his hand with a sword and says, "The victor becomes a king and the weak becomes a thief." And suddenly our hero kicks the human in the face, sending him flying away. His comrade says, "Look, the demon is back to die. Let's finish him off." They leave the girl on the ground and both attack our hero, who thinks that even if the war is cruel, and even if the victor is a king and the weak is a thief, the human army prevents what they were about to do. So our hero strikes them both and depletes their health. The human is shocked that a normal attack did this to them and wonders who this demon is, because something is wrong. Our hero sits on top of him and says, "Speak, kid, which legion do you belong to?" The man replies, "We are all from the 21st Legion, Unit 511. Here, our hero is shocked because this is his own unit. So he stands up and leaves them both, and they immediately retreat. Our hero says to himself, something is wrong. I feel like something isn't right. Suddenly, he hears the humans screaming and finds the demon they were torturing, finishing them off. He continues thinking to himself, when I look at this place, I feel like I've been here before. The kingdom of Yun. It is the kingdom of Yun. He hears a boy crying, saying, they killed my mommy. His father replies, it's okay, my dear, I'm still with you. The rain starts to fall, and our hero sees General Huan, who has turned into a dragon. Our hero remembers the kingdom when it was here 6 years ago, and he was with the Bengal military unit to fight the demon kingdom called Yun. That day, he was able to defeat the dragon Huan, and the victory was so easy that he almost forgot the battle. Now our hero realizes he has returned to the past 6 years ago. He asks himself why he isn't the army commander, what happened, and where his body is now. We see Holina with our hero's body before her saying, Liao, the hatred between races will be immense, and you are different from them. You are fighting to defend, but they fight to take revenge and steal. This war is a very terrible thing. Our hero stands among the corpses and thinks, the old Unit 511 was a disciplined army with faith. After we defeated the dragon, we pardoned all the demons. He looks ahead and sees humans trampling on demons, including Shao and his mother. His mother tells him to run away quickly, and he leaves her at that moment. The human holding her strikes her with energy, and she loses consciousness. This human is the deputy commander of Unit 511, named Yong. He was previously in prison for violating military law. Carrying Sao's mother, he says, these demon women are so beautiful, man. Our hero looks at him, thinking that something has happened. And this is something he can never forgive. We go back in time a bit to the day Jun was born. He sees the general entering, looking very happy. All the demons are surprised to see him so excited. He holds his son and says, you must grow up in peace, my dear. I will protect you and the kingdom of Yun all my life. Back to the battle, we see him flying and facing the human leader, saying, I won't let the world's scum destroy our kingdom. But the human leader isn't interested, seeing him as just an ordinary dragon with decent health. He readies his sword, jumps quickly, and attacks the dragon. He strikes with such rapid blows that the dragon can't even see him before he lands back on the ground. The general reverts to his normal form, falls, and thinks, how does this person have such power? It seemed like he was just playing with us earlier. His strength is unparalleled. No one can stand against him. The human leader says, you weren't what I expected. You've disappointed me. And now you must die. He raises his sword and brings it down on the general, but suddenly his attack is blocked. The general wonders what happened. He looks back and says, what brought you here? Have you gone mad? Jun, who blocked the leader's attack, replies, of course, I'm here to finish him off. The general continues, impossible, you fool. You can't stand against him. Won't you stop this recklessness of yours? So Jun interrupts him and says, foolish, reckless, I can't do anything. That's how you've seen me since I was a child. To that extent. So I'm worthless in your eyes. The general remembers when his son Jun saw him as the greatest hero in his life because he was the great military leader. And he also remembers when he took first place in his studies, but he didn't care. And also when he took first place in army training and still he didn't acknowledge him even when he reached the rank of vice commander and still no interest. So Jun shouts and says, anything I did, you never appreciated it. The general replies, get out of here. Our enemy is not just an ordinary soldier. Jun replies, whether he's human, a demon, or even a ruler, whoever dares to enter the kingdom of Yun must die. And here Jun attacks the human leader, while the general reaches out toward his son and says to himself, you madman, you don't understand the power of humans. At that moment, Jun moves with incredible speed and finishes off the assistants with the leader. The leader is shocked when he sees him behind him, having finished off his assistants. Mingal, standing next to the general, says he finished them off with a single blow. The leader turns toward Jun, seeing that this demon is different. Wings appear on Jun and energy gathers around him in a terrifying way. So the leader is shocked, and the general looks at his son saying, since when did you start becoming better than me? The general remembers when his son was young and was sad because his father didn't care about him. But the general was secretly very proud of his son, who excelled in everything. And when he got the news that his son came first in army training that day, the general was so happy and said to the soldier who told him the news, see, I knew he would succeed, but these aren't my plans. And we learned that when the general hears his son's name, his mood changes, and he didn't want him to follow the path of the army because he's smart and always first. He sits by his wife's grave and says, this boy is a genius, and you always told me to take care of the battles, and you would take care of the home. But you left me and I don't know how to deal with Jun. He should have lived a normal and safe life. But it seems I was wrong. And we return to the battle again. And June strikes with the same dragon, so a terrifying energy comes out and hits the leader. And a big explosion happens. After the atmosphere calms down, we see June still flying in the air, looking at the leader with total coldness. The leader has blocked this attack and starts laughing, saying, "Finally, this is what I wanted. Now a demon worthy of the challenge has appeared. Let's enjoy ourselves while we play together." The general looks at the leader's sword, shocked, and says, "This weapon, I found it in the records of rare weapons." Jun says to him, "Let's go." The general runs quickly, saying to himself, "This sword can cut through anything." The leader moves his sword and Jun is shocked. And we see the tower behind him split in two and collapse. Leo and Ming call out to Jun, asking him if he's okay. And Jun stands shocked, looking at his father standing before him, who says, "Jun, I was wrong about you all this time. I even forgot to tell you that you're the one I'm most proud of." Jun cries and says, "But Dad, your arm..." The general's arm has been cut off by the sword strike. But he says, laughing, You're the best soldier I've ever known. And in the future, you'll be the strongest demon leader in the whole world. So you must stay alive. This human before you, his weapon is from the abyss of sins. And he surely managed to finish off triple S ranked demon kings to get it. And even if the whole kingdom united now, they wouldn't be able to defeat him. But I have one final plan from many years ago, the kingdom's future, your absolute shield." Jun says, "But Dad, with this plan, you'll sacrifice yourself." The skill the general will use is called core fission. At this moment, the general remembers his son as a child when he told him he'd live a safe life and he'd protect him forever and preserve the kingdom. And here, Meng runs and grabs Jun to pull him away, saying, "Don't waste the general's sacrifice." The commander says, "You want to escape? What is this nonsense? I don't like your performance. I want to see despair on your faces." And he raises his sword to strike them. But he hears General Chao calling him from behind, saying, "Commander, don't rush into the fight." And there's no need for them to die this easily. "These fools are defending this demon heart, and I've brought it to you, and I ask you to accept me into the human army now." The commander points the sword at Chao's neck and says, "So you're saying what you have is the demon heart, and you want me to believe you? Why should I trust you?" Cao replies, "The clan I belong to is the Demon Heart Guardians of the Kingdom. And this has been for a very long time. Since the day the first demon king Lulian united the demon lands. Our ancestor Long was his trusted army commander. And every demon king would have 3 commanders around him, one expert in magic and the other in combat and military affairs. But our clan had no place in magic or combat. Instead, it was expert in this because the demon heart Lulian left contains the blood of the founding commander Long. And our clan is the only one that can activate this heart or give it to someone." The commander thinks about how he's heard of the demon heart and that it contained immense energy from the demon's power and spirit, and says, "Something this powerful, you'd give it to me so easily. Do you think I'm an idiot?" Lightning strikes the commander's sword. Cao looks at him terrified, and out of fear, he drops the heart, puts his hands on his head and says, "I'm sorry. All I wanted was for us to stay alive. I'm weak and have neither magical nor physical strength. And even if I use this heart, my weak body would collapse. Our clan has never had influence. Now we've changed colors like chameleons just to stay alive." Leo is crying and says, "Uncle Chao, have you gone mad? This human killed us. He even cut off your only brother's head with his own hands." The commander goes and steps on General Bang's head and says, "Was this fat guy your brother?" He kicks his head and it lands in front of Chao, who transforms, looking like a madman, and says, "He deserved what happened to him. How dare he provoke those who are stronger than him? We know humans, no one defeats them. Why fight them? But the one who goes with the flow is the one who wins in the end, right?" The commander laughs and leans down to take the heart, saying, "Yes, that's right. And handing over this treasure was a wise decision, so I'll take it." Cao looks at him, brings his finger to his mouth and says, "Get ready to protect the demon lord." And here Meng activates absolute defense, and General Huan also activates life core fission. Leo and Jun are looking at them, not understanding anything. Chao bites his finger, wounding it, and throws his blood onto the demon heart, which activates immediately as soon as the blood touches it. The commander is shocked as immense energy erupts from the heart, and Cao says, "Our clan has been waiting for this moment for a long time because this is our only role. We've had a great status among the demons for a very long time, and this is the only way we can repay the favor." At this moment, a terrifying explosion occurs, destroying the place, and we see the humans being crushed by the blast. Lamia asks what's happening inside the city as they look at the explosion. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning descends from the sky, striking right in the middle of this explosion, and we see Cao after his body caught fire, saying, "This is all I've got, but I've only used 1% of the heart's power." Jun grabs him by the arm to support him, and Kao falls to the ground. And at that moment, the level 5 armored dragon appears, performing an absolute defense that blocks all damage. You see the commander standing there unharmed, with the dragon above him, and he says, "You've made the worst mistake. How can you play all your trump cards before knowing your opponent?" Kao reaches out his hand to grab the heart, but lightning strikes the heart, sending it to the commander's hand, who continues, "Are you ready to face the consequences of your actions? I didn't expect to see a demon heart in this pathetic kingdom, but it's no surprise being the land where the demon king was born. And now the real work begins. Go on, dragon, you do it." The commander puts the heart in his pocket and looks at the dragon, who's reluctant, and continues, "What? Can't bring yourself to attack your own kind?" The commander activates the device embedded in the dragon's neck, and the dragon starts screaming in pain. It heads toward the queen and her companions, about to strike, so Ming activates the shield to protect them. The commander says, "What helpless demons, you're all so slow." In a second, the commander vanishes, and we see Ming struck in the back by the commander's hand, which emerges from the other side. General Huan attacks to strike him, but the commander grabs his hand and uses the eye that can analyze the opponent's abilities. And after seeing his stats, he tells him, "You're so weak, and so I'm going to crush your power." The commander breaks the general's arm and lets him fall to the ground. But Jun attacks the commander from the other side, trying to hit him, but the commander vanishes again. He also checks Jun's stats and sees he has royal potential because his speed is over 2,000, but he considers it useless. So he approaches him and says, "You're the fastest demon in the kingdom, aren't you?" He then kicks him, sending him flying, and Jun falls to the ground. He steps on his leg, breaking it, and says, "Did you think an ant could shake a mountain? All these stats of yours are nothing. But if there were even more of me, what would you do?" And here, lightning strikes the ground, and many clones of the commander appear around him. This skill gives these clones the same power and awareness, and he can switch between them. The commander grabs the queen and says, "I've been thinking all this time since you're so weak. Why do you even exist? But I figured out the reason later. Your only value is simply to entertain me." Of course, we learned that when this commander was young, his favorite hobby was killing, to the point that he once showed no mercy to a small kitten. He lets the queen fall to the ground after she loses hope and kicks her. And here, General Huan stands up and says, "We lost this time, but it's a great honor for us to die together." The commander replies, "That's what's expected from someone defending the kingdom, still standing with pride even now. But you know, if you surrendered, it would ruin the fun." The leader signals one of his clones, who grabs Jun and pulls him by his hair. The leader says, "Isn't this your son? I could give him a chance to stay alive and not die with you, but on the condition that you kneel before me right now." Jun says, "You're a monster. My father won't accept this." The leader replies, "This is your only and best chance to think right now." So the general kneels before him and says, "Please, can you keep your promise?" The leader says to Jun, "You boy, you want to save your father. I have the same condition." But Jun tells his father to stand up, so the leader laughs and strikes the general in the chest, cutting off his other arm. And here Jun kneels and says to him, "Stop the killing already, please." The queen is watching them, completely devastated. The leader replies, "Now both of you are kneeling. The matter has become complicated. Who should I let go?" So he strikes the general in the heart, and Jun cries. The general replies, "Let Jun go." The leader continues, "Who allowed you to raise your head? You broke the agreement, and because of that, I'm going back on my promise." So Jun attacks him, but the leader quickly strikes him, and the queen looks at him, worried and crying along with Ming. Chains emerge from the ground, binding the hands of all the demons present and lifting them up. This same scene happened in the leader's childhood when he hung cats and tortured them. The leader strikes Jun again and says, "I'll avoid vital organs to see how many stabs you can take. Dragon, come here." The dragon approaches him and he says, "Get ready for the final party." The leader speaks into the device and says, "Deputy Leader Polly, you're done playing, aren't you? Tell the army to begin the attack." Someone on the transmission replies, "You've actually dared to rebel." The leader is surprised and asks who it is. "And where is Polly?" A voice from someone standing behind him replies at that same moment that Polly is here. The leader looks behind him. It's our hero speaking to him, saying, "I didn't expect you'd reach such brutality for power. I am the reason for their death." The leader looks at him in surprise, and our hero continues, "I should have expected this because a monster will always be a monster. And for the crimes you've committed, you must be torn to pieces." The leader says, "Well, here comes some new trash." The leader jumps to attack our hero and raises his sword to strike him. But our hero punches him in the face and slams him into the ground. He then grabs him by the neck and says, Where shall we start first? Coup, betrayal, harassment. torturing prisoners, and finishing off colleagues. Where should I start talking? The leader asks him what he's talking about. Polly is lying on the ground next to him and says, this demon isn't normal. Since we met, he's been interested in human affairs. And we go back to the moment when Polly was holding Xiao's mother. She's telling him not to finish off the little boy. Polly says, don't forget, no one finishes him off because I'll make him watch how I play with his mother. And here, the ice soldiers Polly created are shattered. And we see our hero is the one who struck them. Polly replies, what brought weak demons here? Don't worry, take this and try it. And Polly creates a new giant ice soldier. This soldier's strength is half of Polly's strength, but our hero doesn't give him a chance, attacking quickly and smashing the soldier to pieces. He continues on Polly as well, slapping him across the face and sending him flying. Polly's almost about to die. Our hero says, now the truth must be revealed. What happened to my army? Polly tells him that the leader of Unit 511 was Liao and his deputy was Manhwa. And 15 days ago, this deputy was holding an engagement party outside the camp. And on that day, they began to move because Commander Liao was not there. And since everyone was drunk, he and Shin entered the deputy's tent and forced him to report the commander as corrupt and a rebel, and that if he cooperated with them regarding the documents in his room, he would be arrested, and then he would become the commander and Shin would be the deputy. But Wanho said then, are you guys crazy? This is a coup. How dare you do this? And because the deputy refused the betrayal, they harassed his fiancée, so Wanho went mad and wanted to finish them off. But they had planned for that and put poison in his drink. And the poison's effect began to show on him. Shin says, I'll ask you one last time. Will you join us to take down Liao? But Wanho refuses. And that's what made them finish him and his fiancée off. And to avoid any connection, they left Liao's dagger at the crime scene. Then Shin told them that Deputy Wanho died at Liao's hands after Liao discovered that Wanho betrayed him. And that's what made him finish him off. Then Shin led the army to the main camp to carry out Commander Liao's execution. But when they arrived, they didn't find Liao because he had left the camp early and left all his weapons in the tent. Afterwards, Shin submitted a request to the ruler to issue an arrest warrant for Commander Liao, who harassed his colleague's wife and finished them both off. Then Shin took over the army's leadership after his father supported him. And here Polly asks why our hero is interested in humans. So he replies, well, where are the others? Didn't anyone question what happened? Polly laughs and says, you mean the stupid fans? They surely doubted, but they were victims before Shin's army. I'm surprised why some people have this blind loyalty. I've told you everything now, won't you let me down? If you do, I can convince Commander Shin to let you live. And here our hero hits him with a blow that ruins his future. And we all understand, of course. Xiao's mom tells him, General Liao, the suit I gave to General Ming is with me. And it was expected that a major crisis would occur in the kingdom. So he told me to wait in the basement. So please wear it and escape far from the kingdom because he told me you're the demon's last hope, so you can't die in this battle. And now I've received a magical message from the general, and it seems they've fallen into trouble. Our hero puts on the suit and armor and grabs Polly by his hair. Xiao's mom continues, General, the gate is over there. Escape quickly. But our hero tells Polly, you'll take me to Shin now. I'm not a coward to run away. Polly replies, you're crazy. Do you think you can stand against Commander Shin? He'll cut you into pieces, you idiot. And we return to our hero after he slammed Shin to the ground and is hitting him. This is another version of Shin and he's smashing it. Polly is surprised why our hero is looking into human matters. And Shin transfers himself to another version. And he looks at our hero to reveal his stats and finds his speed is low, meaning he's faster than him. He makes his clones attack him while saying to himself, his ability to react before was just luck. But that luck doesn't last long. But here our hero moves with incredible speed and hits all the clones, sending them flying away. Shin is shocked and says, impossible. His stats are lower than mine. What's the deal with this demon? Liao replies, now it's my turn. Shin looks at him and thinks that our hero's power shown in his stats couldn't possibly defeat him. And his clones have the same traits, but he knows he can't see the value of the luck he has. He calculates his speed and power to be more than our hero's power and speed. So it's impossible for him to outrun him, and he decides to try again. He attacks our hero with very incredible speed. But our hero moves and grabs his clone, slams it to the ground, and finishes it off. Shin is shocked by what happened, and our hero says, are you still focusing on your trivial data? Do you think you can see everything? And Shin attacks again with his clones, and our hero manages to dodge them and strike them quickly to finish them off. Shin says, you can't stay like this all the time. But suddenly our hero is right behind him and hits him. But Shin manages to escape quickly and thinks he won't be able to face him directly, so he sends one of his clones to the queen and says, in the end, you are a subordinate of the demon queen. Keep in mind that your leader is in my hands. Shin grabs her by the chain around her neck and Jun says, when you face someone stronger than you, is this your only way? Our hero says to him as he walks towards him. What you're doing is boring, Shin shouts. If you take one more step, everyone will die. The clones start pulling the chains around the demons' necks. And Shin continues, come on, don't you see yourself as strong? Even if you are fast, you're alone. And if you dare to save one of them, I'll finish off the other. What will you do? What is your choice? Our hero jumps quickly towards him. Shin is shocked when he sees him attacking, and Jun says, save the demon queen. But our hero grabs the face of Shin's clone next to Jun and throws it away. Jun says, why did you save me? So what will you do about the queen? Our hero replies, and who told you that I only save one? We see an ice soldier appear, carrying the queen in his arm and finishing off Shin's clone. Our hero continues, I will save everyone. And the ice soldier attacks the chains binding the demons, cutting them all. Polly is shocked at how our hero has this skill because it's his skill and how our hero was able to copy it. One of Shin's clones attacks the ice soldier, but he grabs him by the head and slams him to the ground. Our hero says, this soldier is exactly like my strength. Of course, guys, our hero gained the copying skill that allows him to copy the skill of any opponent he has defeated before. Paulie thinks that he was able to get his skill by chance when he was in the demon's cave. Despite its strength, it has two weaknesses, and that's because it consumes a portion of health. And it needs water, and the soldier's appearance is like a warrior from a race he met before. Of course, the soldier's strength depends on the percentage of blood consumed by the one who made the soldier, so that means our hero used all his health to make it with this strength. And here Paulie shouts, Commander, don't attack the soldier, attack the original body. He's using my skills, which means he's at his weakest. So Shin looks at our hero and thinks he needs one hit, and he'll finish him off, so he attacks with one of his clones, quickly towards him. He runs immediately, hits our hero, and says, I won, but our hero doesn't move. And he tells him continue. Shin is shocked and says, what is this? You should have died by now. I'm sure I hit you a while ago. He makes all his clones attack, and they start hitting our hero from every side. After a while, our hero, who hasn't moved from his spot, says, well, are you still going to do something else? He feels that something abnormal is happening and activates his eye. So he's shocked when he sees that his health is the same. And he feels that there's something scary about our hero's form. We see our hero stretching his hand forward, and a sword of energy forms in his hand. He says, what's up, Shin? Don't you have anything left to do? Shin thinks that in this case, he must escape and hide. And since the sky is full of lightning, it's his lucky day because he can make many clones and hide among them. This way, our hero won't be able to finish them all off. Our hero continues as he says to the ice soldier, those clones over there, you'll take care of them. Polly looks at him and thinks that our hero occupies himself with human problems in a strange way. And even his skills and Commander Shin's skills, he was able to know them well. He even managed to surpass them by far, and he doesn't even look like a demon at all. Our hero says this storm doesn't just have lightning, the water doesn't stop either. And here the ice soldiers begin to emerge from the ground. Our hero continues, all this power of yours is less than mine. So if there were many soldiers like me, what would you do then? A battle begins between the ice soldiers and Shin's clones, and the dragon is standing there watching. So Shin shouts at the dragon, why aren't you fighting? We see our hero dodging the clone in front of him, activating his ability and saying he'll end this battle quickly. Shin is hiding and says to himself, I won't be able to face him directly. I understand the nature of his power. He has a supernatural healing ability, but attacks reduce his health, meaning he's not immortal. The sword, Leo, that I have stores energy and pierces any defense. So if I let its energy reach full capacity, I'll finish him off with one blow. The most important thing is that Leo is linked to my original body, so stall him for a bit and then... But before he finishes, an ice soldier comes from behind and stabs him in the back with a sword. So Shin quickly transfers himself to another clone. And here, Paulie understands that what Commander Shin is doing is moving between his clones, so our hero can't finish him off. And the ice soldiers have a time limit, meaning our hero can't keep making them all the time. He then says, you'll lose to the commander. You won't be able to handle him. Our hero replies while finishing off one of the clones. Who said I want to finish him off? I said before that for his crimes, he deserves to be cut into pieces. Every clone of yours is a part of your soul, and every clone that dies, its pain reaches your original body. Isn't that right? Shin looks at him, wondering how our hero knew this information. Our hero continues, conspiracy, harassment, torturing prisoners, and treason. For these crimes, a normal and quick death won't do. We see Shin in pain with every clone that actually dies. And we see the ice soldiers cutting up the clones along with our hero who says, you must feel the suffering you caused the victims. Paulie looks on in shock and says he doesn't want to finish off the commander. He wants to torture him. And here, Shin decides to use all the energy in the sword and begins to gather it within. This is because he sees that one blow will finish off our hero. The energy gathering is indeed complete, and he raises the sword in the air, saying, "This blow will finish off the entire demon race." And we go back in time to a forest where we see a small dragon running quickly on the trees and then hiding on a tree. And we see a group of human soldiers looking for it because this dragon is of the thunder type. And after the soldiers leave, the dragon looks beside it and finds a boy sitting on the tree eating biscuits. This boy is our hero Liao, so the dragon prepares itself to attack him. But our hero grabs some biscuits in his hand, brings them close to the dragon, and says, "The war started between humans and demons to control the demon crystals, and now everyone is hungry. I wish the war would end quickly." And we return to the moment Shin raised the sword, and the dragon is staring at our hero. Here, our hero raises his hand towards Shin and says, "Leo, return." And before Shin strikes with the sword disassembles from his hand, flies through the air, reaches our hero's hand, and then reforms in his hand. Our hero Liao continues, "Now the sword has returned to its original owner. Thank you for charging the energy with Leo." Shin is shocked by what happened because he had linked the sword to himself. He raises the sword and brings it down to the side, and energy moves around him. And we see the clouds starting to clear from above the city. The dragon stands before him, which is the same dragon he met when it was small, and it recognizes that he is Liao. Here, Shin's clones begin to disappear, and even the lightning stops. Then we see Shin surrounded by the ice soldiers. Our hero puts the sword to his neck and says, "Now the war must end." We return to our hero after he and the dragons have grown a bit and become friends. We see our hero pointing to the forest, telling the dragon to go and catch the demon that fell there. But the dragon refuses, and our hero asks him if he thought he'd be like a dog. But he's not a dog, he's his best friend. We return once more to the dragon roaring in pain. And of course, his name is Jita. Our hero tells Shin, "Now there's no more lightning, and your energy will run out. You won't be able to escape." Shin says to himself as he presses a button with his hand, "The dragon's speed is too great. You won't be able to catch him." He then tells the dragon, "Quickly, take me out of here before I blow you up." The dragon screams in pain and cries. So our hero realizes there's a detonator inside Jita, and Shin climbs onto the dragon's head and tells him to fly fast. And Polly calls out to him to take him along, but Shin leaves him and flies off with the dragon, saying, "A bunch of pathetic demons. I won't lose here. In this battle, I've achieved a goal and won demon crystals." On the ground, the demons are sitting, and Ming says General Liao's speed can catch him. John looks at our hero and says something is making him worried. Are we going to let him escape? Liao looks at Jita angrily, and then looks at the ground, then suddenly hears a voice saying, "I believe in you. I don't want you to worry about anything. Remember the game we used to play?" And our hero realizes that's Jita's voice. We see the dragon throwing Shin into the air, opening his mouth and catching him. Jita continues, "Now it's your turn." Our hero readies himself, raising his sword as Jita descends toward him. Shin says, "So you want to die? Then don't blame me for what happens next. I'm going to blow you up." Shin actually presses the detonator button, and the activation begins. And before it reaches 100%, our hero jumps and strikes the bomb on Shin's neck, shattering it, and the dragon lands on the ground. The demons look on in shock, and we see Shin on the ground, split in two and coughing. And our hero approaches him. So Shin says, "Have mercy on me. Why are you doing this?" Our hero stands before him and says, "From the moment you betrayed me, you should have expected this end." Shin replies, "What betrayal? And who did I betray?" Our hero continues as he raises his sword high. "When you meet Wan Ho, don't forget to kneel before him and apologize." Shin is shocked and says to him, "You're Liao." And here our hero begins to cut him down, saying, "The conspiracy for his coup, the harassment, the torture of prisoners, the killing of colleagues, the theft of my weapons, and insulting Jita too." And now the sentence is carried out. Paulie looks at our hero in shock and says, "I was sure this demon was the old leader and didn't flee the battle." And it appears on the screen that our hero was promoted, history changed, and he was able to complete the mission of protecting the demons. We now go to Holina standing before a capsule containing our hero's human body, saying, "This matter must end soon. Your weapon, equipment, and dragon have returned to you, so now only your wife remains." And we now go to the human kingdom, where one of the soldiers is informing Shin's father, named Biao, who is sitting fishing, telling him, "News has arrived from the military front that the 511th Division was completely defeated, and General Shin is dead." Biao asks if there was a body, and the soldier replies that they couldn't retrieve it. Biao continued, "Fine, prepare an empty coffin for the official burial ceremony, and tell the whole world that the city's eldest son died honorably on the battlefield. And come help me because the fish is caught on the hook." The soldier goes to help him, and we see someone standing next to them, trembling and saying, "My brother died in the demon kingdom of Yun. They all must die." This person is Shin's brother, and his name is Ling. In the kingdom of Wind, someone tells King Dan that the message arrived 3 days ago for the Alliance conference. Have you decided who will represent us at the conference? The king thinks this conference is an insult to small kingdoms like theirs. But since he's a member of the Alliance, they can't just not participate. He then says our kingdom is barely grade A demons, and they are important to us. And this conference is very dangerous, and every time participants go there, few of them return. The demon in front of him says, "My lord, have you made a decision?" The king replies fearfully, "Give me 2 more days and I'll try." But before he finishes, this demon transforms into a terrifying form and says, "We will help you make the decision." In the kingdom of Yun, we see a woman standing before Queen Liu saying, "This is the message we received for the Alliance conference. I didn't expect the kingdom to suffer such destruction." But the kingdom of Yan sent a support team. Liu thanks her for the help, and the demoness continues. "I hope Lady Liu recovers quickly. Please inform us of this year's Alliance Conference representative, as it's the biggest event in the entire demon world." Inside the kingdom, we see demons restoring the destroyed houses, and the young boy, Xiao, is helping with the construction using his magical power. After he finishes, he hears one of the workers telling him to rest a bit because General Cao has come to visit him. We see Cao completely wrapped in bandages, saying, "I didn't expect the reconstruction to involve young workers like you." Xiao bows and says, "It's my duty. And thank you for providing the heart for my mother." Cao replies, "That heart actually stopped after the great explosion, but by chance it was suitable for her condition. Anyway, this is a debt I owe because of my failure of a brother. You see, among humans, there are the good and the bad. And likewise, among demons, there are the good, the bad, and the evil. And everyone will get what they deserve." We see Baioli thrown among dogs, begging them for mercy, but the dogs attack him and tear him to pieces. Cao continues, "Only a good person finds a happy ending in their life. That's the principle of our clan. And my brother violated this principle in his life, so his death wasn't something to be sad about." Xiao says, "Oh, Nawa, it's not like that. Your brother used to be terrifying. But when the humans attacked the city, he forgot about his body after coming out of surgery. After the destruction happened, he told me to take my mom in the heart and run. But unfortunately, the criminal human appeared then. And at that time, General Pang stood against him to stop him until we escaped. And then he died while protecting me and my mother. He's the one who saved us." Cao is shocked by the little one's words and says, as a tear falls, "Really? My brother, I didn't understand you. You're still the same as when you were young." And now we go to our hero, who is standing with his dragon at the highest point of the palace. And Minggu comes and tells him, "The demon heart has been the most important energy source in our kingdom for 200 years. And you're the strongest demon among us now. You are the demon's hope. And we, the 3 generals, along with the spiritual leader, have decided that this power must be yours, General Liao. It won't just give you the power to evolve to S rank. It will also grant you extraordinary skills." Our hero interrupts him and says, "Enough. Wouldn't it be better to use this energy to rebuild the kingdom? I'm leaving this place." Ming is shocked and says, "What? Are you joking after everything that happened?" Liao thinks that if things continue like this, no one will be able to finish him off. And he must find a way to become human again, as he once was. Because humans undergo many changes and he doesn't know what's happening with Holina. And because he is fundamentally human, and they are demons after all, so they shouldn't have any feelings. And the idea of becoming human after death is something demons won't understand, and they won't help him achieve it. Then he hears Jita's voice saying to him telepathically, "Don't worry, Princess Holina is safe, and I'll stay by your side." Our hero replies to him, "It's good that you're here." Jita continues and asks him, "Where are you going?" Then Ming says to him, "General Liao, where are you going?" But the dragon flies off and our hero doesn't answer Ming. In General Huan's room, Jun is sitting beside him looking at him and saying, "When did they say the other prosthetic arms would arrive?" Huan replies, "That's the 3rd time you've asked that question. Something is on your mind. You're thinking about him, right?" Jun stands up, tells him to rest, and leaves the room, thinking about the first time he met our hero at the palace. And when he saw his actions later in the demon cave, he should have known then that he wasn't a demon, but a human who had been seeking death from the start. Somewhere in the forest, we see our hero looking at the screen telling him he must die at someone's hands to become human again, and suicide won't help. He says to Jita, "As you can see, the result is the same, meaning beyond my current healing ability. Even suicide is a difficult thing, and if we could find an S-rank demon king, he might use a special skill and finish me off quickly. But I haven't met a king like that except in the demon tower, and since then, there's been no one. Quickly, help me find another way to die." Jita replies, "You're right, but I'm your contracted beast and helping you plan your death. And it is a strange thing. Suddenly, a landslide occurs on the mountain above our hero, and a large rock falls toward him. Then the dragon strikes it quickly, shattering it to pieces, and says, "When there's danger, I find myself automatically trying to protect you." Our hero replies to him, "No, that won't do. You must control yourself. Stop protecting me and leave me in dangerous situations." Jita replies, "Fine, I'll try to remember that and that you're seeking death." Then a monster appears and attacks our hero from beside the dragon. But Jita still can't help himself and strikes the monster, finishing it off, and says, "I'm sorry." So our hero replies to him that it's no problem, but next time he must control himself. Night falls and we see our hero roasting a piece of meat. After he finishes eating, he says, "You must eat and recharge your energy, Jita. In the morning, we'll head west and look for the demon tower. Maybe we'll find something. But honestly, the goal isn't clear." Jita replies, "The goal isn't clear? Forget about the towers in the west. I mean, even if you find one, we can't guarantee there are S-rank demon kings inside." Liao asks him what they'll do. Then Jita tells him telepathically that someone is coming as a sword is placed against our hero's neck. Jun says, "Leaving without saying goodbye is rude. Today is the victory feast in the kingdom. How can the great hero leave without attending the party?" Our hero answers him, "And why didn't you go to the party and leave the kingdom?" Then Jun asks him, "Tell me, who are you? And what's your goal that brought you to Leon?" Jita tells him telepathically, he's angry, but he doesn't intend to do anything. Jun continues, "The humans who attacked us, what's your relationship with them? And how do you know them so well? And why is the thunder dragon with you? And how do weapons fly into your hand? And you..." But before he finishes, our hero answers him, "Because I'm human. And unfortunately, you can't finish me off right now. Though dying at your hands wouldn't be so bad." Jun says, after grabbing our hero by the neck, "So you've been seeking death all this time. You wanted to die, you provoked my father and followed me to the demon cave. And when the war with humans broke out, you went alone to face them, all just to die. Why? Why are you doing this?" Our hero replies that his death is the only way for him to become human again. "I'm a human lost in a demon's body, and I must die to return." Jun gets angry and asks him, "Then why did you kill the human leader? His power was enough to finish you off. You didn't have to save us. You could have waited until he finished us off and then killed you, and then you'd return. The human army would have won and you would have returned. Why did you side with the demons?" He replies, "This isn't a stance, it's a belief. I couldn't stand to see evil and stay silent." Jun leaves him and says, "Humans are the ones who took our lands, destroyed our lives, and killed my mother. That's why I hate humans. They all must die, and you too. But I wish you were a real demon." Our hero hears Gita saying to him, "I feel his pain." He needs some words to calm him down. So our hero leaves him and says he's going. Gita asks him if he was going to say something. Our hero replies via telepathy, "I don't want any relationship with demons. We can't be friends." And here Jun says the Alliance Conference is in a week. And this is the most important event for the 18 demon kingdoms. And there will be a combat competition. And each kingdom sends demons. And the strongest demons will be there. And some of them are S-rank. If you want to die, this is your chance. I mean, even if you don't find a rival in Fion. But don't underestimate the power of the demons in the other kingdoms. Our hero is shocked after hearing Jun's words and asks him if killing is allowed in the competition. He answers, "Of course, because those who participate are ready to die for their kingdoms." Gita says he seems sincere in his words and his gaze is serious. "But now I feel that..." And before he finishes, Jun says, "No one in Fion wants to die. But the queen agreed to participate. And I'll help you with your death. However, the demon king cannot die at the hands of just anyone. So the final blow will be from me." Our hero looks at him and smiles sillily, shakes his hand and says, "Agreed." In the previous episode, we saw how Commander Shin was able to control the battle and was going to finish off all the demons. But our hero came at the end and a confrontation occurred between them, and our hero learned from Pauli that they finished off the vice commander. And our hero became wanted by the human kingdom after they framed him for treason. We also learned that Shin took our hero's equipment and weapons, and we saw in the end how our hero was able to defeat him and reclaim his sword and the dragon Gita, who was our hero's companion when he was human too. And after the battle ended, we saw how all the generals decided to give the demon heart to our hero because he is the strongest in the kingdom. But he rides the dragon and leaves the kingdom entirely. And when he was in the forest, Jun came and asked him why he did that and saved them. So our hero confessed to him that he is human and must die to become human again. And here Jun told him about the Alliance Conference and the competition that takes place between demons in this conference. And that he might face an S-rank demon, and then that will be the solution so he can die. Here our hero was very happy and agreed to the idea and decided to implement it. I wonder what happened after that. Let me tell you, of course, everyone, the Demon Alliance is an empire composed of 18 kingdoms, some of which are small and some are large. And there is information saying that all the mysterious powers in the world are located in 10 regions. And the Demon Empire is located in the second region. As for the Alliance Conference, it has two goals. The first goal is for all leaders to gather and discuss future development strategies and unite what remains of the demons. And the second goal is for them to elect the leader of the empire. And the election method happens through a fighting tournament held every 3 years. And this way is the fairest way, because in a world of power, the one who prevails will lead the demons, the winning kingdom. But now it's just a show of strength. We see Queen Leo talking to our hero and Jun, telling them the alliance of 18 kingdoms is full of conspiracies. Everyone wants to achieve their own interests. Unity and peace don't matter to them. To win in the end, they'll do anything and send their strongest, most savage demons. In the last tournament, out of 36 participants, only 5 survived. Don't forget that the Fire, Rain, and Thunder Kingdoms, as superpowers, will send S-rank warriors. The warriors my father sent last time never returned. We still have time to back out. I can take you back and say the participants are unwell. But at that moment, she looks at them and discovers they've left. After a while, we see them arriving at the Fire Kingdom. Our hero thinks that in his past life, he couldn't reach this place and see it. He thought it was a desert. But the city is huge, full of towers, and it's called the White Capital. After they land, the queen says, "It's been a long time since I was here. The city has changed so much. We'll find a hotel to stay in, and then there's a banquet tonight." Of course, our hero and Jun were walking behind her. But when she looks back, she discovers they've disappeared too. We see our hero standing in front of a fruit seller, surprised by its appearance. Jun stands there looking at him, thinking to himself that he'll finish him off in the end. But our hero thinks that the green fruit with black stripes was something he only saw in books. It's considered a fruit of legends. The merchant asks if this was his first time seeing such a luxurious fruit. He opens one for them and says, "This is called a watermelon. Want to try it? It's a demonic crop and restores energy instantly." Jun looks at a nearby shop and says, "What rank are these weapons? There are so many of them in the shops here. But in our Cloud Kingdom, weapons like these are kept in secret warehouses." The shop owner approaches him and says, "You're from the Cloud Kingdom, aren't you? You can't compare it to our Great Kingdom with its power, resources, economy, and size, because the Fire Kingdom has everything. Are you here to watch the tournament?" Jun replies that he's actually participating in the tournament. A girl stands there looking at the weapons and says, "Your body is weak, and you haven't evolved yet. It seems the Cloud Kingdom lacks talent." We learn that this girl is the warrior Lin from the Rain Kingdom. She tells the shop owner, "Please wrap these S-rank items and send them all to the Shambhala Hotel." The shop owner laughs and says, "Are all the Cloud Kingdom people like this? You might even face them as opponents." The girl walks away with a strange aura around her and says, "My only rival is Shum from the Rain Kingdom." Jun looks at her, seeing the magical power emanating from her, wondering if she's S-rank. Our hero Jun and the queen reunite. Jun says that everyone here is proud of their kingdom. Leo replies, "That's natural, especially since the competition is near. Who would treat their opponents kindly?" The situation is completely different from before. When the alliance was first formed, the power levels were similar. That's what created a system of balance. But now, only the Yan, Yo, and Lei kingdoms have power and influence in these past years, and that's because they were winning. And the strong always get stronger. That's the law of nature. In this tournament, the one who wins the final gets the advancement stone, and that's the fastest way to evolve a demon to S rank. At the same time, the leader of the winning kingdom will be the commander of the armies in all kingdoms, and he will be the owner of the key to the end. Or let's say that the winning kingdom will have the largest number of S-level warriors. They will also be able to buy all the forces and have the mining rights in that place. Our hero is shocked when he hears about the place. So we see them arriving at the tallest tower in the kingdom. As soon as they enter the tower, we see a man pulling a chair with a girl on it, with Lin behind them, and the demon says, "Excuse me, is this the Shambhala Hotel?" Lin says, "I've met you before. Aren't you the peasants who were coming to buy watermelons?" John looks at her angrily and says, "Queen, I can't stand this girl. Can I finish her off?" Leo replies, "Calm down a bit. If a problem occurs before the competition, you'll fall into the trap because anyone who reports violent behavior before the competition could be disqualified." Our hero approaches the other two and says, "Is this the Shambhala Hotel? Are you here to attend the alliance meeting?" The demon replies, "Yes, we are from the Kingdom of Mist." Our hero continues, "If we meet on the battlefield, I want you not to hesitate and attack me without mercy." The demon is surprised by his request and tells him he will do his best. Leo calls them to go in and register at the hotel. But suddenly her bag is taken from her and Leo screams, "My bag!" The invitation and residency documents, everything is inside it. Our hero looks at it and says he can disappear, and here the demon says to him, please take care of my sister. He closes his eyes, sparks come out of them, and he can feel everything around him. He sees the footsteps of the fleeing demon, so he releases a piece of ice from his hand and throws it at him, and he manages to freeze him in place. The thief is shocked at how he was seen. As soon as he looks ahead, he finds John standing there, grabbing him and saying in a terrifying way, isn't it fair that we punish evil? The thief replies, honestly, I'm a contestant from the fallen country. I'll give you back your stuff, but please don't hand me over to the guards. Our hero says to the girl, your brother is very clever. Leo comes and thanks them because if their things were lost, they would have been in big trouble. Our hero says to the demon, you're great. Are you S-level? He replies, no, we don't have an S-level demon in the Kingdom of Mist, but I will definitely do my best. And we learn that this demon's name is Lassie. John had hit the thief and felt very relieved after hitting him. We see the thief calling the guards to take him and save him from John. There's someone standing on the second floor looking at those present. After the guards arrive, we see Leo showing him the card. The person on the second floor says while drinking tea, it seems that almost all the kingdoms have arrived. Now the tournament will begin. We see the demons registering their information at the reception. Leo says, the hotel is very crowded today. If we're delayed any longer, we won't make it to the party. After a while, it's their turn, and Leo tells Lassie and his sister to register before them and go rest. He thanks her, and the employee says, where are your papers? Get them ready so you don't waste time. Lassie takes out his card, and the employee tells him she wants the invitation because his card doesn't work here. They hear someone's voice saying, look, he's here. I only ever see him on the news, says the man sitting and drinking tea on the second floor. He always has to show up with all this commotion. And we learn that the person who arrived is Lee from the Thunder Kingdom, and he's considered the strongest star in the entire empire. His companion enters and starts pushing people aside, and finally stands in front of Lassie, looks at him coldly and shoves him aside. His sister screams, but our hero pats her shoulder to quiet her, and Lee reaches the clerk, who says, sir, your mother needs help. You can use a passage without having to wait. Lee says, take my mother upstairs, then register the team's stay. Here, our hero pushes him, grabs Lassie's sister's chair, and says, even celebrities must wait their turn. We're registering first. The clerk is terrified by what our hero did, and the one sitting above says, looks like the excitement is starting. He's not just the Empire's star. He also has another title, which is the best of the demon race. Lee stands up again, looks at our hero and says, excuse me, brother, did you just push me? You have the nerve to push me. But our hero ignores him and asks the clerk, is there a problem with the paperwork or something? Then Lee puts his hand on our hero's shoulder and says, didn't you hear me? Lee starts to grip our hero's shoulder tightly, so Jun tells him to let go. So Lee smiles and activates his energy. But our hero doesn't move, and everyone else shields themselves from his power. Jun is shocked by this strange power and says to Lee while laughing, I like your nerve. You deserve respect. Now let's duel. Then a hotel manager arrives and says, Mr. Lee, if you duel before the tournament, it'll cancel your participation. You're VIP guests. You can pass through the private corridor. You know you have the luxury suites in the hotel? So there's no need to stay in the crowd with these people. And you know that small kingdoms stay in ordinary suites. Lee replies, fine, anyway, we'll meet in the arena. I'm waiting for you. After Lee and his group leave, Jun approaches the clerk and asks how long they'll have to wait. But before the clerk can answer, the hotel manager says, let's deal with this. As for you, little participant, this girl has no right to stay here. Lassie shouts, what? The invitation allows for a companion. The manager replies, a companion? Is she your relative? The thing is, we don't accept documents from the Mist Kingdom here. And rooms are limited. And of course, priority goes to the participants. Even the Cloud Kingdom only has 2 participants. We'll give them a double room. Our hero feels there's discrimination against them because they're from small kingdoms. John approaches him, grabs his shirt and says, we're here to participate, so you must treat us with respect. Why aren't you respecting us? The manager replies, respect you? Who even are you? Don't think so highly of yourselves. Are you threatening me or what? Aren't you afraid of being kicked out of the competition because of me? Go on, you savage peasants. Can you even win, or are you just here for the free food? And look at these kids. Can they even fight? This might be the first time they've seen a tower like this. Just seeing our civilization is a blessing for them. Jun lets go of him and says, you're exploiting the ban on violence to provoke us. Is this the morality of the Great Fire Kingdom? The manager continues, all demons are backward because of people like you. Cloud Kingdom or Mist Kingdom, you should be expelled from the Empire. Jun grabs him by the face and lifts him up, but suddenly energy swirls around him. takes him from Jun's hand, and he goes to Leo's hand, who grabs him, throws him to the ground, and says, "I'm not a participant, but I am the demon lord of the Cloud Kingdom and the legitimate heir to Yun, the first commander of the Empire. You know, what you just said gives me the legal right to finish you off." The manager replies, flustered, "We are in the Fire Kingdom, and if you finish me off..." Leo interrupts him, saying, "At the first demon gathering, they all swore to the unity of the 18 kingdoms. And whoever dares to disrupt this unity, the heir of my clan has the right to execute them." And this conference was a symbol of demon unity, and it seems everyone forgot this story. We see her flying in the air, eyes glowing, so the manager kneels and says, "Please forgive me, don't finish me off, I was wrong." Then, the one who was drinking tea upstairs arrives. He's the head of the Shambhala group named C, and says, "A very nice show before the tournament." The manager looks at him crying and says, "Master C, please save me." C looks at them and says, "I apologize for the poor reception." Leo replies, "You're the manager. There's a lot of chaos going on in your hotel." Jun tells him that his employees are proving his management is a failure. Sai replies, "The situation is difficult, and rooms are limited too. I was worried about the nobles from the Great Kingdom, so I booked the luxury suites for them early. And to apologize to you, I'll give you the last vacant presidential suite. And these little ones can stay in my private suite on the top floor. I'll move out of it. Anyway, I'll stay in a regular room. My suite is at the highest point of the tower and has a great view, by the way. And the problem that happened earlier was due to my negligence. I hope you accept my apology and don't forget the party starts in a bit. Please go rest and let's not have anyone getting upset." Our hero points at the fat manager and says, "Well, what about this person? Are you just going to let him go after what he said?" Sai takes out a gun, removes a bullet, and says, "Let's see what his fate decides." The gun has 5 bullets. "Your chance of survival is very slim." He points the gun at the manager's head. The manager is crying, and they're all watching as C pulls the trigger, but it hits an empty chamber. The manager bows and says, "Thank you, Master C. Thank you for showing me mercy." He replies, "Now, you will leave the hotel, and I don't want to see you in any of our facilities." Understood? A bit later, we see them entering the elevator while Sai watches them. An employee says to him, "I was so scared." "It's a good thing you were there, Master C." C thinks that among those present, one surprised him. Despite the battle he was planning, one of them didn't even flinch. And of course, it's our hero, who's talking to Jita telepathically saying, "Isn't that right, Jita? I suspected something because the hotel manager is too insignificant. He wouldn't provoke people like that on his own." Jita replies, "Yes, exactly, it seems like..." And the manager were just acting. Our hero says, "But why did they want us to act violently? To get us kicked out of the tournament?" "But what C did was completely contradictory." Jita answers, "The only reason is that someone like him tests the strong because he's looking for a worthy opponent." Then C smiles, looks at our hero and says, "We'll meet in the arena." Of course, the Union tournament is divided into 2 stages. The first stage is the qualifying rounds and the second is the knockout stage. There are 36 participants from 18 kingdoms, and the champion from the last tournament will be exempt from the qualifiers, while the remaining 35 will be divided into 7 groups, with 5 people in each group. Each group will enter a battle, and in the end, only one of them will qualify. Thus, the 8 who qualify will enter individual competitions until they reach the final. We see Jun thinking that our hero's goal is completely different, and he's angry about the incident that happened at the party, because when they tried to enter, the waiter at the door stopped them and told them that this area is for VIPs only, specifically the kingdoms of fire, rain, and thunder, and that their kingdom must enter through the second-class area. Naturally, this would upset anyone because it's a huge insult and blatant discrimination. We see him standing in front of a shop, having already bought weapons and potions. He's wondering if he's forgotten anything. But suddenly he hears a semi-invisible man threatening a girl, telling her to give him everything she has because the guards are busy at the tournament site and no one will save her. But the girl stands there confidently thinking to herself, "And you call yourselves an advanced nation while there's robbery in the streets? I mean, if my brother wasn't participating here, I would never have come to this disgusting kingdom." The thief is the same one who will steal Leo's bag, and he's a member of the Black Gold Gang from the Kingdom of Foal. This gang specializes in drugs and robbery. He continues threatening the girl, telling her not to scream and to quickly hand over her money and valuables. The girl realizes that this thief can turn invisible, and that there might be someone else working with him, so she decides to finish him off to draw out the rest of the gang. But then she sees John and gets very happy. John notices her and says, "Shio." Shio calls out to him saying, "Save me, John." The thief tells her, "Don't shout. Do you want to die or something? I warned you, now watch what I'll do to you." But at that moment, John leaps into the air, attacks the thief, punches him in the face, and says, "Is it you again? Wasn't what I did to you last time enough?" Shio is about to fall. So John catches her and asks, "What are you doing here all alone?" Of course, Shio is thrilled to have met the handsome John. We learn that Shio is from the Ice Kingdom, and she is the sorceress of the magic cloud. The rest of the gang is watching them, and one of them says, "Someone is helping her. Let's attack them together." The one on the roof replies, "Attack them. This woman clearly has a lot of money. This is an opportunity we can't afford to miss." What's this? What's happening? Why is my leg frozen like this? Who is using the power of the magic cloud? Naturally, Shio has activated her ability and thinks to herself, "Oh, you animals! You want to ruin my meeting with John?" John asks her, "Are you okay? Did this person hurt you?" Shio replies, "He was going to hurt me, but I'm lucky you came. It was so terrifying." John continues, "Wasn't this criminal in prison? How did he manage to escape?" She replies to him, "Forget about him. Let's take a walk together. I have so many things I want to tell you. And I know a sweet shop nearby, by the way." Then we see the thief frozen on the ground. In another place, we see Lassie and his sister, and he tells her, "I'm sorry, sister. I'm useless." She replies to him, "What are you saying?" "The potions are so expensive." "But I'm sure we'll find a solution." Lassie continues, "I must win first place to get the prize, and the money will cover the cost of the surgery you need." His sister tells him that the money the people of the kingdom collected should be used to buy armor and defensive potions, and that he shouldn't be reckless because his safety is much more important than winning. Lassie replies that he will buy offensive potions and weapons. We go to our hero, who is holding his sword while lying on the bed. He asks Gita, "Did you notice anything?" Gita replies, "The champion of the last competition hasn't appeared yet. And the Kingdom of Rain has 2 powerful warriors. The hotel manager is dangerous too, and also the star of the Kingdom of Thunder. But you won't face them unless you qualify in the tournament." Liao says to him, "This is so exhausting. Who will be able to finish me off?" Wait a second. I just had an idea. Why are we even looking for them? Gita asks him what he's planning. Time passes and everyone begins preparing themselves for the tournament. On the first day of the tournament, the broadcast is shown in every kingdom so all the demons can watch. But no one knew that something was about to happen that would change the fate of all demons, or rather, the fate of the entire world. We see the demon leader, Si Ming, sitting and watching the tournament, and the announcer says, "Now, the first group of the qualifiers will begin." We see a group of demons entering the arena, and the participants in this group are from the kingdoms of Ash, Glory, Frost, and Fire, and the Cloud Kingdom as well. The announcer calls out the warriors' names, focusing most on a warrior from the Fire Kingdom named Xuan, who is considered the greatest defender. And the demon leader says, "This first round is to showcase the strength of the kingdom hosting the tournament." His assistant replies, "Surely this tournament will be won by the Fire Kingdom." And the announcer continues after that, and the last contestant is Liao from the Cloud Kingdom. And here, Gita asks him telepathically if he's serious about what he's going to do. Our hero replies, "Of course. This is just how I do things." We see the demons gathered in a casino, starting to bet on the contestants, and they all want to bet on Xuan because he's considered the strongest in the tournament. One of them says, "But then the odds will be low and you won't win anything." The second one replies, "Yeah, because everyone is betting that he's the one who'll win." The first one replies, "And who's the fool who would bet on anyone else?" The other contestants from the small kingdoms, we've never even heard of them. "Especially this kid from the Yun Kingdom." His friend continues, "I thought you were going to bet on him." Here, Sai intervenes and says, "I'll bet 5 million on him." They're all shocked because Si came to the casino and tells them that his match is still a long way off. So he came here to enjoy himself with them while they watch the match. So the one organizing the bet says, "The big boss is very generous." The short manager is walking next to him, telling him that he needs to get ready. Si replies, "There's no need to rush because there are still matches that will take time before it's my turn. And this match in particular, I want to watch and see his performance on the screen." The announcer says, "All contestants in their places. The countdown for the match has begun. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And here the match begins and Xuan attacks the other contestants, but they all jump away. Xuan activates the Black Iron Shield, which increases his defense by 1,000 points. The 3 contestants gather and attack Xuan together. And after they finish the attack, Xuan smiles and the 3 of them are shocked because they couldn't even scratch him. One of them says that they must continue the attack. And the star of the Thunder Kingdom, Li, is sitting and watching the match and says, "This is the expected strategy they use at the start. The weak team up with each other to take down the strongest one, because it's the only way for them to survive. But without an anti-armor technique, They won't do anything but waste their energy for nothing. But what is this kid planning? We see our hero warming up and saying to himself, I'm almost done. Are you ready? Gita replies. Of course, my energy is full all the time. Jun is watching our hero and says, You're surely not planning to do one of your crazy moves, are you? And here, our hero draws his sword and says, Now, we'll let them all watch our show. Our hero stands holding his sword and screams out loudly, Everyone look at me! Cameras and everyone, watch me closely! The camera zooms in on him, and all the warriors stop their attack and look at him. Our hero continues while pointing at Juan. You've activated your strongest defense, haven't you? Juan replies. What are you talking about? Someone like you could never... Our hero interrupts him and says, Take this. Our hero strikes the ground with his sword, and a massive energy wave surges toward all the contestants. A massive explosion occurs, and everyone watches in shock. The announcer says the wall surrounding the arena has been split in two. Impossible! After the explosion clears, we see the 3 warriors lying on the ground, and Xuan's armor is destroyed. He has injuries all over his body. He stares at our hero, shocked by what just happened. The announcer continues, The contestant from the Yun Kingdom has defeated 3 contestants with a single blow, and now only 2 remain in the arena. Our hero points his sword at Juan and tells him the next strike will be an all-out attack. Juan screams and says, Wait, I surrender! The crowd is shocked when they hear Juan say that. The demon leader says that this is shameful. In the casino, we see all the demons upset because our hero won and they all lost their bets. Juan thinks that our hero's weapon could penetrate any defense and cause him great damage, and that the first strike wasn't even an all-out attack. If he had used an all-out attack, the entire arena would have been reduced to rubble. He asks himself, who is this person? An announcer comes and stands next to our hero, raises his hand and says the first winner is Liao from the Yun Kingdom. Our hero tells him to give him the mic and takes it from him by force. C is watching our hero on the screen and says to himself, Your show isn't over yet, is it? Our hero grabs the mic and says, Listen up, demons. Everyone listen to me carefully. What's all this nonsense about the kingdoms of fire, thunder, and rain and about S-rank demons? You're all weak. They're all focused on our hero and angry at his words. As for Jun and Lu, they're shocked by the nonsense he's spouting. Our hero continues his shouting and says, First place belongs to me personally. I'm the strongest demon here. And if anyone has a problem with what I said, come and fight me. We go to the Yun Kingdom, where they're watching the tournament, happy after our hero honored them and won the match, celebrating because their kingdom survived the war because of him. We see Ming sitting with General Huan, who says General Liao's presence in the kingdom has made many changes, and everyone in the kingdom has found their enthusiasm again. The announcer says the next match will feature the warrior from the Thunder Kingdom, who is Li. Of course, this match ends quickly after Li wins with ease. He stands up and says, No one can take first place from me. The crowd is cheering for him, happy that he won. Huan continues, Because of the powerful kingdoms in the empire, our kingdom didn't dare to stand up to them. But now with General Liao and Jun, old folks like us have hope for tomorrow. Ming replies, Maybe our kingdom has a chance to return to the top. The 3rd round is about to start, and Jun is entering now. The announcer introduces the contestants in the 3rd round to the crowd. Among them is Jun, whom the announcer introduces individually. Liu asks our hero if they're going to target Jun, because the announcer introduced him that way after our hero won the 1st round. Our hero replies that this warrior is the highest level fighter, and if Jun watches him closely, there won't be a problem. And because this round doesn't have any S-rank demons at all. As for the other demons, the only one at Jun's level is our hero, unless something has changed. We see Shio cheering for Jun in a strange way. The people of the Ice Kingdom are shocked because she's the princess of the Ice Kingdom, and she's cheering for the enemy instead of their own contestant. The match begins, and we see 2 demons attacking Jun, who looks at them, knowing they're doing this because Liao made them hate their entire kingdom. With a quick move, Jun finishes off both of them. Meanwhile, in another part of the arena, we see this warrior finishing off the last demon and then standing before Jun. Jun thinks he's just a demon of his own level with a strong attack, so he charges at him, having tested his power in the demon cave. And also in the battle against humans, he's grown stronger. We see him moving fast, circling behind Dao, who's shocked by his speed, and Jun hits him with a poisonous strike, finishing him off. Dao falls to the ground, and the announcer says Jun only needed 1 blow to cut him in half. And with that, the match is over. Jun says to himself, even if he were an S-rank demon, I can handle him. Suddenly, Jun gets hit in the back. The announcer says, No, wait. The match isn't over yet, because Tian, with only half a head left, is still alive. Jun looks at him and strikes with his sword. But Tian dodges it, and Leo asks how he can still fight with his head gone. Our hero thinks to himself that there's something unsettling about this guy named Tian. We see Jun jumping into the air and coming down on Tian, thinking that he will never lose in a place like this. He hits Tian with many blows, cutting him up. But things come out of Tian's body, restoring it to how it was. Jun is shocked because he has an incredible healing speed. Tian then activates a skill and Jun says, "Is this my skill?" Tian attacks Jun and strikes him quickly, so Jun falls to the ground, feeling that he sustained many injuries. He wonders how Tian's attack power is increasing. Then our hero screams, "This guy is suspicious. There's a strange and evil aura around him. You can't go on like this. Give up, Jun." Jun stands up and looks at Tian, who now looks very strange, and says, "Do you think I entered this battle to give up? The feeling of helplessness I felt that day? I never want to experience it again. I won't let anyone hurt my father or my people. And the future of the Yun Kingdom will be protected by me alone. And that's why I must become stronger. And I must secure first place. And I must win the advancement stone to become an S-rank demon. And even if death is the price for all this, I don't want to lose again to anyone." We see Jun activating an ability while Tien points his sword at him and attacks. Jun uses the demonic dragon ability and strikes Tian with it, releasing a massive energy that causes a huge explosion. The announcer says, "You people from the Yun Kingdom, it seems you enjoy blowing up the battlefield, don't you? But it seems the attack worked because the opponent at this moment, Tien, has only half his body left. And that means the winner of this match is..." Wait. It seems the situation has changed. Something like roots comes out of Tien's body. His body begins to reshape itself all over again. Jun and our hero look at him in shock. And Tien is completely healed. We see him activating the same ability as Jun and striking him with it. His father, the girl Shu, and Queen Leo are all crying. And the announcer declares that the winner of this match is Tian. We see them later next to Jun in the arena, and Shu asks him what happened or if he'll be okay. Our hero replies, he's lucky because at the last moment he used his instinct to avoid the greater damage. He's currently injured and unconscious. Quickly, take him to the clinic. The Queen and Shu carry him and take him to the clinic. Our hero looks at Tien and sees that his situation is very suspicious. The announcer congratulates Tien for winning the match, and he approaches someone from the Feng Kingdom and says, "Well done, you've managed to secure a spot in the finals." We see the king's eyes looking strange. Going back a few days to the Feng Kingdom, we find the king and Tien sitting on the ground without their heads. We see a strange-looking insect entering their bodies, interacting with them, and creating a new mind for them. The king looks at a person in front of him who says while laughing, "You'll help me complete the mission, right?" And we return to the present in the kingdom of Tian. We see the king and Tien standing before the same person sitting on the throne, and he tells him, "We succeeded in the first round." The person laughs and says to him, "Excellent. Very good. First place will be ours, the evil clan." At the same time in the tournament, they start the fourth round. Lin from the Rain Kingdom participates and wins it. In the fifth round, Si from the Fire Kingdom participates and also wins. And until this moment, the demons don't know that a great danger is approaching them. The announcer continues presenting the sixth round and introduces the contestants. Yasmin from the Kingdom of Li. Star Li is surprised because it's the first time he's heard of her. Here our hero is shocked when he sees her and remembers when he was young, 6 years old. Carrying a sword, he says, "No one come near me." There's a little girl with armed men, and she tells him, "Don't be afraid, we're not bad people." A bit later, we see them sitting together, and she says to him, "You don't remember anything at all?" Liao replies, "I don't know what brought me here, and I don't remember where I live. All I remember is that my name is Liao. So what about you? What are you doing in a war-torn area? And what's your name?" The girl replies, "Honestly, I just came for a walk, and my name is Yasmin." One of the guards approaches and says to her, "Princess Helena, we must return now because your mother might have returned from the capital." Yasmin gestures for him to be quiet and says, "Didn't we agree to go out secretly?" After our hero and Yasmin grew up and turned 12, we see them coming to a party in secret. Yasmin tells him to be careful so no one catches them. Our hero helps her climb over the wall, and the days pass after that. Once she tells him, "Don't forget, when we're out, we must use different names." Then our hero agrees and starts calling her Yasmin. And we return to him now at the moment of the competition. He says to himself, "Helena always used the name Yasmin when we were outside the capital. Could it really be you, Helena?" The match begins, and we see one of the demons attacking Yasmin, so she activates her ice ability. The announcer says her long-range skills were successfully used, meaning Yasmin is a demon of the cloud element type, and it's very rare for this support type to have such offensive power. Our hero says, shocked, "Could they be the same skills? Wait a minute, this isn't just the cloud element. Could it be?" Before he finishes, we see Yasmin activate another ability. A magic staff appears, she strikes the ground, and a flower with arms forms, moving toward the demons to finish them off. The announcer then says, "Congratulations to Yasmin from the Kingdom of Lee for qualifying for the finals." Our hero thinks that Yasmin's skills are exactly the same as Holina's. He's surprised by such a coincidence in the world. He says to himself, "But if this is really Holina, why did she turn into a demon?" Yasmin leaves the arena. Our hero quickly gets up and runs after her to catch up. He reaches the gate, calls her name, stands before the door and thinks, could she have ended up inside a demon's body like me? But no, that's not right, because I didn't gain any human abilities. And above all, if it's really her, how did she get here? Gita replies to him, "She looks like Princess Holina, but I can't detect any trace of the princess in her." We see Yasmin hiding behind the wall. Our hero turns around and leaves the place. Yasmin says to herself, "Liao, I couldn't reveal myself to you now because I must first finish something I have to do. Back then, the evil clan infiltrated the tournament and managed to take first place. Then they used the Doomsday Key to seize control over all the demons. That was a major turning point that shaped the days to come. That's why I must stop them before they can reach first place again, so that you can ascend the throne and become the demon lord. Our enemy this time is more terrifying than you can imagine, Liao. If what I'm doing is discovered, it'll trigger massive changes beyond our control. So, Liao, just wait a bit longer, and I'll tell you everything very soon."